Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
We will bring the jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican, boys, verbis Latinum.
That's literally not true.
I didn't ask you to interrupt.
Is that correct?
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Happy Tuesday to you. About to kick off part 2 of our trial watch today. Waiting for a little action from court when we'll return. Let's see. Clever Name says, afternoon conference calls are canceled. Let's go. That's the right thing to do. Love it. Let's see. Let's get some text on screen. There we go. Thank you. Winner on the internet first in chat today was Greeners. Congratulations, Greeners. You, my friend, have won yet again. It's like you've got like the secret recipe for how to win on the internet. Congratulations, Greeners. Thank you, my friend. Everything IP related worldwide is your responsibility until we go live again. So we are buckled up, ready. We are expecting, I got the sauce, says Green. We're expecting to have the medical examiner on the stand next, which will probably give us a better picture. Obviously, I think 2 gunshot wounds to Joe, one in the head, one in the chest, one from the au pair, one from the defendant. And the number of stabs, though, this is going to be interesting. Number and location, angle. This is where we start getting evidence that we have to look at very closely to try to determine how it happened and whose stories are matching up in what way. So it's going to be interesting to hear that. It could be a little bit graphic, so just know. I know we just finished lunch, but we are going straight to medical examiner. It's just how we roll, unfortunately. Missed this morning. Should I go back and watch? I think it's worth it. I would definitely at least catch the opening from the prosecutor. It was a quick recap, a very quick recap of the whole case, but it was very thorough. I won't say it was thorough. It was abbreviated, but it covered everything. Everything that's important. We do expect there to be a little bit of language in this trial as we learn a little bit about how and where they recruited their, I don't know, is that what's the term in the crime world? Is that a patsy? Where they recruited the fall guy they were going to use. Turned out to be Joe. What we've seen so far is first responder body cam, the chaos at the scene, right? But we haven't actually seen that. The court has accepted that evidence under seal, so jury has seen it. We have not. But it's going to be interesting. Obviously, some of the stuff at the crime scene, all the stuff at the crime scene, and probably most of the medical examiner stuff as well, is going to be filed under seal. So we don't expect a lot of pictures there. Where we do expect pictures are text messages, and we'll have to buckle up for that one. It's going to be a doozy. All right. I wonder if any of these jurors were on the Depp v. Heard jury. I doubt it. I think the judge would recognize them. That would be like, yeah, you're good. You've served your time. That was a big enough case. You get a few years off. Let's call it an Oswald. See what you did there. Let's see. In Brazil, we would call it a laranja, an orange. I'm surprised the Emmy is next too. Most times they're last. Gonna be interesting how this goes down. So let me get everything synced up as well. We're expecting it to start in about 3 minutes, so buckle up. It's gonna be good. The double L is a Y sound and the J is an H sound. Okay, so double L is a Y and the J is an H. Let me go back. So it would be Camilla Juliana. Is that right, Camilla? I'm sorry. I do such a bad job. I do a bad job of this. Pronunciation is my specialty. The people come from far and wide to hear how I say things, because apparently it's different. All right. This is a word math problem. No, it's wrong. Camilla Juliana. All right. Am I buffering? Literally? Or is there it's like a YouTube buffer? I'm showing good data rates on my side. Everything looks good. I mean, like over here in the corner, that shows if the on air is flashing, usually that means it's buffering. But when it's constant red, that's good. I'm pushing 7 megabits per second. Looks good on my end. Last time you said it was perfect. I'll call you later and teach you. Thank you. I will forget. I can tell you that. Oh, your brain was buffering. Yes, this happens a lot. This happens a lot, XLR. I took a phone call for him to learn how to say Lois Cox. And I still mess that up. All right, good times. All right, as we await activity in the courtroom, hold please. I've got to get everything synced up on my end again. A little bit of work on this one, but we're trying to get the best sound we can for you. This is a tough trial. The courtroom. We've heard from Phil, who was attending in the courtroom today, and he says the audio is amazing. Everybody can hear everything. It sounds like you're like in the 911 center taking the 911 call, which is great for people in court. Unfortunately, there are a lot of hard surfaces in this courtroom, and the echo, the reverberation that happens on this is bad for the microphones. So we pick up a fair amount of reverb and even some feedback. So we'll just live with it. I'll do the best I can. I'm trying to take as much of that out as I possibly can without making it harder to hear instead of better. So, all right. Here comes a pronunciation guide.
Call from? I'm doing good. As I said, I will be quick.
Yep.
I just have one thing to say, and I said that you highlighted my message. I am really interested into how the heck did they get the Telegram messages, because not really willingly, but not really against my will either. I watched someone on YouTube explain how Telegram encryption works, and how, and I also saw that I tried to screenshot Telegram messages to show someone else. I couldn't. I could, but it shows 0 messages. So I'm really interested.
Supposed to be a secure platform to prevent messages from being retained, right? That's how it's designed.
Yes.
So, yeah, it will be interesting to see what they get and how they got it, and if they disclose all the details there.
And also, I'm very interested I understand they have to go through the formality of first responders and who was first to arrive at the scene, but I'm really interested to hear all about the investigation, the lead investigator. I'm looking forward to it.
We're back. We've got court audio now. I'm looking forward to it as well. Thank you very much, Angela. Appreciate the call.
Thank you very much.
So the next round of photos will be, for the most part, photos that need to be sealed.
Okay.
The Commonwealth would suggest that we simply not display any photos to the gallery. Given that
if they're not sealed, they go to the gallery.
Okay.
So if you want to separate them out, or however you want to do it, or just let me know ahead of time. That's just the way it is.
Then we may just ask at this point in time that all of the photos that are part of Dr. Kessler's testimony be sealed.
Okay. That's any objection to that?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
we
you.
can do that. Anything else on that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are we ready for the jury?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that just made the job of the cameraman much easier. Everything's going to be sealed. Let me see if we can fix. Box 3 is going to be 8. Kiki's Garden, I'm so sorry. That is not exciting. I will tell you that every time I found a really good job was when I was unemployed. Looking for a new one. So hopefully you find just what you're looking for. Why are they sealing so much evidence?
This is Dr. Kessler.
Decency.
Dr. Kessler?
We've got nude bodies of victims. And out of respect for the victim, a lot of times these images are sealed, and partially for family members. I mean, there's a child here who's going to be, the world is looking at pictures of her mom on the news, and out of respect for the children, I think that could be a reason to seal it.
Stand here, please, Madam Clerk. Raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Could you please the court record, please?
Yes, Dr. Megan Kessler, Meghan Kessler, Kessler.
And what is your profession?
I'm an assistant chief medical examiner, also known as a forensic pathologist.
And what is a forensic pathologist?
A forensic pathologist is a type of doctor who is specialized in pathology, which is the study of disease, and then further subspecialized in forensics, which is the study of disease as it relates to law and medicine.
And where do you work?
I worked for the Commonwealth of Virginia, Office of the Chief Medical Examiner at the Northern District Office in Manassas.
And how long have you been with that office?
Approximately 9.5 years now.
And where did you work before you joined the Virginia Office of the Chief Medical Examiner?
Just prior to coming to work in Virginia, I completed a fellowship program with the state of Maryland.
And what is your educational background?
I have a bachelor's degree in biology from the University of Richmond. I graduated from medical school from the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. I completed an anatomic pathology residency program with Penn State, after which I completed a subspecialty fellowship in forensic pathology with the state of Maryland Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, and became board certified in anatomic pathology and forensic pathology.
And are you a medical doctor?
Yes, I'm a DO.
And you said you were board certified. Could you tell us how board certifications are acquired?
To become board certified, the requisite training, years of education is required, as well as obviously taking an examination and continuing education to recertify.
And do you belong to any professional associations?
I do not.
Have you provided any training or educational presentations to others in your field?
Yes, I regularly am involved in training pathology residents from Walter Reed and the University of Virginia, pathology assistant students from Old Dominion University, other interns, forensic fellows within our agency, local medical examiners, and others.
What kind of training did you go through with the medical examiner's office when you arrived?
After I arrived, I'm required to maintain my dual board certification in anatomic and forensic pathology, also my state licensure in medicine, and the continuing medical education that's required.
And what do you do as part of your job as a forensic pathologist at the medical examiner's office?
My primary duty is to complete autopsies to determine cause and manner of death and collect evidence and write reports as related to that.
And have you testified as an expert in the field of forensic pathology in a court of record before?
Yes.
And have you done so in Fairfax County?
I have.
Do you know how many times?
I'm not sure in Fairfax. Within the Commonwealth of Virginia, it's at least 50 times, and likely a majority are in Fairfax.
At this point, Your Honor, I would offer Dr. Kessler as an expert in the field of forensic pathology.
I have no objection.
No objection. All right, she'll be so offered. Thank you.
And did you
pause for
perform
just a
an
second.
autopsy on the bodies of Joseph Ryan and Christine Banfield?
Yes, I did.
And prior to the performance of those autopsies, where were the bodies of Joseph Ryan and Christine Banfield kept?
After they arrived at the office of the chief medical examiner, they were intake and put into a cooler within our secure facility until the time of autopsy.
And before you performed each of their autopsies, did you break open the seal of the bag containing each body?
Yes, both bodies, the transport bags, were sealed with a wire seal through the zippers.
Before we discuss the particulars of each autopsy, did you prepare a report documenting your observations and findings?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I am going to ask for Commonwealth Exhibits 11 and 12 to be displayed to the witness and counsel only.
All right.
And I am also going to pass up paper copies to the witness, if I could, please.
You've seen these, Mr. Carroll, correct?
I think I have a copy. I just wanted to look at it.
That's
Thank you,
fine.
Judge.
Do you need to look at them?
I mean,
Go ahead and review them to make sure.
It's the redacted.
It's the, yeah.
oh, okay, good.
YouTube is having some trouble today if you're buffering a lot. If you click the pause button, which is the play button, for like 5 or 10 seconds and then hit play again, you'll be a few seconds behind the live, but it should be a lot smoother for you.
Looks good to me, Judge.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm first going to show you on the screen what has been marked as Commonwealth's 11 and ask you if you recognize it.
Yes, may I scroll through?
Yes, I think. It's also, you have a paper copy of it in your hand.
We'll do that.
Just be careful not to show the pictures.
Yes, I have a copy of this CME1 report of investigation, my autopsy report, my handwritten notes from autopsy, and a copy of the certificate of analysis, the toxicology report.
And now I'm going to show you Commonwealth's Exhibit 12 and ask you if you recognize this exhibit. It's the other paper copy that you have.
Yes, there is a CME1 report of investigation, a copy of the death investigator scene report, a copy of my autopsy report, a copy of my handwritten notes from autopsy, as well as the certificate of analysis, the toxicology report.
Okay. And are these your autopsy reports from your examination of Joe Ryan and Christine Banfield?
They are.
Okay. And Judge, at this point, both exhibits I would ask for to be entered as Commonwealth's 11 and 12. They should be sealed.
Oh, if we could approach this for a moment.
I'm curious about the rules of sealed evidence. I know the state does not want any of the pictures from the autopsies to get out, any of the images from the crime scene as far as body cams to be released to the public. But I think from a legal perspective, the judge has a duty to ensure that the documents are open to the public to the extent that they can be. So there has to be a purpose to seal. So she might be asking right now, you're sealing the report? I can understand seeing the sealing the images, But a lot of times a judge, to seal documents like that, has to basically have the justification for it, or understand that the justification falls under a certain classification of documents or a certain situation. So, possibly. Why are they sealing everything? Because they're...
All right, so 11 and 12 under seal.
So we get to hear a lot of these images now. Somebody just got a power adapter delivered to them. That looks like defense.
And during an autopsy, are you able to determine a person's exact time of death?
No.
And why are you unable to determine a person's exact time of death?
Can't you?
To be short, the science is unreliable and not quite there. There's a lot of different factors, including why somebody has died, what physiologically is going on inside of them that change things that happen after death. There's a lot of things in the circumstances and the environment around them, the temperature, the light, the airflow, that can change the rate at which things change after somebody has died. So it makes it difficult and unreliable to pinpoint an exact moment that somebody has died.
And when you perform an autopsy, what does that entail?
An autopsy is a comprehensive examination of somebody after they have died. It is documenting as they are received. It is documenting things externally, so as simple as hair color and eye color, any injuries on the outside of their body. Then an incision is made and an internal exam is completed, documenting any natural pathology, any injuries on the inside of the body as well.
And do you take photographs when you perform an autopsy?
Yes.
And did you take photographs during these autopsies?
Yes.
I'd like first to talk about the autopsy of Joe Ryan. Were you able to determine his height and weight?
Yes.
And was his body clothed when you began your exam?
Yes.
After documenting the clothing, what did you do with it?
The clothing was removed, photographed, and packaged and transferred to law enforcement.
And did you take any physical samples from his body?
Yes, I did.
Can you describe what physical samples you took and what you did with them?
What's called a PERC kit was completed, which is a physical evidence recovery kit. It's something that consists of specific samples to include head hair, swabs from the oral cavity, the mouth, the underwear, comb of the pubic hair, pulled pubic hair, genital swabs, and anorectal swabs. Also, a sample of blood on a blood card and fingernail clippings. In addition to that PERC kit, I also did swabs of the palms and the backs of the hands and fibers from one of the hands as well.
And what did you do with these samples after you finished collecting them for the physical evidence recovery kit?
I placed them in sealed bags and transferred them to law enforcement.
And can you describe for the jury what your physical findings were from the examination of Joe's body?
He had 2 gunshot wounds.
And where were those 2 gunshot wounds located?
There's a gunshot wound of the head. The entrance was on the right side of the head. And there was a gunshot wound of the chest, which with the entrance on the left side of the chest.
I am going to first show you Commonwealth 13, and I'd ask that to be displayed to the witness and counsel only at this point. And Judge, as we described, these photos are sealed.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize this photo?
I do.
And how do you recognize it?
It's a photograph from autopsy that has the ruler with the case number N2023-00363 on it.
And what does the image depict?
It is a right profile view of Mr. Ryan's head.
And is it a true and accurate depiction of the wound as you saw it and when you performed Joe Ryan's autopsy?
Yes.
Judge, I'd ask to admit this as Commonwealth 13 and publish it to the jury.
Any objection?
No.
All right, 13 under seal to the jury.
Can you tell the jury what is meant by the terms entry wound and exit wound as it pertains to a wound caused by a bullet?
An entrance wound is where a bullet enters the body. An exit wound is where it might exit the body and leave the body.
And were you able to tell if this wound to Joe Ryan's head was an entry or an exit wound?
Yes.
How can you tell that this bullet was an entry wound?
It's an entrance wound. It has a characteristic round appearance with an abrasion to the edges of it. And also, there is no exit. A bullet was recovered from the wound path within his head.
And what means, if any, exists that would inform a medical examiner's determinations regarding the distance from which a person had been shot?
When a gun is fired, not just does the bullet leave the muzzle, soot, dirt, debris, there is burning gunpowder flakes that are leaving the muzzle as well. And if the gun's fired close enough to the person, the skin, fired from farther away, those particles are light enough that they kind of drop out and they don't leave any evidence.
Were you able to make any determinations about the physical distance between Joe and the person who shot him from your examination of this head wound?
Based on this examination, the distance is indeterminate. There's no evidence of soot or stippling on the skin of the wound.
And in relation to where the entry wound is located, can you tell us where and how the bullet traveled after entering Joe's head?
The bullet entered the skin on the right side of the head, injured muscles of soft tissue, the skull, the facial bones, the bones around the eye, the right eye, and the left cheek, and caused fractures of the base of the skull, bleeding on the brain. And it traveled from right to left, front to back, and downward.
And given the path of travel of the bullet through those areas, which of Joe's bodily functions might have been impacted or would have been impacted, and how?
It is causing, the wound path caused bleeding on the brain, which is an injury of the brain. It impacted his eye. He can no longer see, he has no eye. There's evidence that there was breathing of blood, hemoaspiration, and swallowing of blood.
What if any effect would you expect this injury to have on a person's ability to see, speak, or make vocal sounds?
So the injury, the gunshot wound path injures the right eye. The left eye is still intact. He could see, potentially. To be able to speak or make noises, the injury is not of his larynx where the vocal cords are, where the sounds are generated, so potentially could still make noises. There's no physical injury of that area.
And in the course of your work as a medical examiner, are you able to quantify in terms of time the speed at which a bullet wound would be able to kill someone?
Sometimes.
And can you describe those temporal differences? How you would describe them?
There are times when I can say a wound is immediately or instantly fatal, and that's typically when it's an injury that disconnects the brainstem and the head, ceasing breathing and heart functions. This wound is still intact. This wound is considered rapidly fatal, meaning seconds to minutes, injuring vital structures of the body with some survival.
And given that you found no exit wound caused by this bullet, were you able to locate the bullet, and where was it?
Yes. A bullet fragment was recovered from the left cheek just in front of the left ear, and bullet fragments were also recovered through the wound path in the head.
And what did you do upon locating this item in Joe's head?
The bullet fragments were photographed, placed into a bag, and sealed and transferred to police.
And at this point, I'm going to retrieve Commonwealth's Exhibit 14. I'm going to pass up, if I could, what I'm identifying as Commonwealth 14. And I'm going to ask if you're familiar with that exhibit.
Yes, I am.
And how are you familiar with it?
It is a bag containing my bag, which I sealed, and that bag contains a note card labeled fragments, my signature, as well as the fragments.
And is this exhibit in the same or substantially similar condition beyond the packaging as when you removed those from Joe's head during the autopsy?
It is.
And Judge, at this point, I'd ask to admit and publish Exhibit 14.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, 14. How do you wish to publish?
Judge, we'll just leave it there at this point in time because I'm going to move on to
All right, that's fine.
A few other things, and then we can publish a bit later.
Okay.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Commonwealth Exhibit 15 photograph, and I'd ask for this to be displayed to the witness and counsel only. Can you see the photograph?
Yes.
Can you tell us what this image depicts?
It's a photograph after Mr. Ryan has been cleaned up from his head down to his torso.
And how do you recognize it?
It also has the ruler with the case number.
And is this a true and accurate depiction of this chest wound as you performed Joe Ryan's autopsy?
Yes.
Judge, at this point, I'd ask the court to admit this as Commonwealth 15, and this can be published to the jury.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, 15 under seal and to the jury.
And was there any evidence present that would have helped you determine the distance between this injury and the firearm that inflicted it?
There was no visible soot or stippling on the skin around this wound.
And when you examined his clothing, the clothing that was present, did you find any defects in that clothing that he was wearing when you began your exam?
Yes, there was a hole in the left side, the front side of the shirt.
Okay. I am going to show you Commonwealth's 17, 18, and 19, their photographs. I'm going to ask for them to be displayed to the witness and counsel only at first.
So with him having breathed blood and swallowed blood,
This is 17,
it's clear that he was alive at some point
18,
after he was shot, so he did
and
not die
19.
immediately.
Do you recognize these photographs?
Yes.
And how do you recognize them?
They are photographs of the shirt, the first of which had the ruler.
And is this the shirt that you removed from Joe Ryan during his autopsy?
It is.
And are they all true and accurate depictions of the shirt as you saw it during the autopsy?
It is.
Judge, at this point, I'd ask the court to admit as Commonwealth 17, 18, and 19 the photographs of the shirt and then allow them to be published to the jury.
And you want them under seal also?
Judge, I don't think that these need to be under seal. There's
That's
nothing.
fine. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Any objection?
No objection.
All right, 17, 18, 19.
So first showing 17, 18, and 19. And if we could terminate the view to the gallery at this point.
Yes, thank you.
Terminate is the key word they've worked out. Meaning it's now under seal.
I am going to show you
I'm not sure what that was we were
Commonwealth
looking at.
Exhibit 20, which is another photograph. And I'm going to ask for it to be displayed to the witness and counsel only. Can you see the photograph?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recognize this photo?
Yes.
And how do you recognize it?
It has the ruler with the case number and is a photograph of the middle section of Mr. Ryan's body before the clothing and medical intervention has been removed.
And Is it a true and accurate depiction as you saw this view during the autopsy?
Yes.
And at this point, Judge, what I'd ask the court to do is admit Commonwealth's Exhibit 20, and I'd ask for this to be sealed.
All right, any objection?
No objection.
All right, 20 under seal, thank you.
And then you said before medical interventions were removed. Can you describe the medical interventions?
As seen in this photograph, there are 2 EKG electrodes on the lower portion of the abdomen. You can see one on the arm. There's also a chest seal, which is an adhesive seal over the gunshot wound on the left side of the chest.
And the chest wound, is the chest wound an entry wound or an exit wound?
An entrance wound.
And how do we know this?
It is round, has an abrasion, and a bullet is recovered from the body.
In relation to where the entry wound is located, can you tell us where and how the bullet traveled after it entered Joe's chest?
The bullet injures the skin, soft tissue, and the muscle, the rib cage, the pericardium, which is the sac that the heart resides in, the heart, the aorta, which is a major blood vessel coming off of the heart, and the outside of the esophagus, which is the food tube to the stomach, and the T8 spine. The bullet traveled from left to right, front to back, and upward.
And given the path of travel of the bullet through these areas of Joe's chest and his upper body, can you tell us which of Joe's bodily functions would have been impacted and how?
The injury of the rib cage will impact breathing. The rib cage is needed for breathing. The injury of the pericardium in the heart puts a hole in the heart, so therefore it is now bleeding, leaking blood, and no longer pumping blood to the body effectively. There are holes in the aorta, which is a major blood vessel carrying blood, so now it is also bleeding. And there is injury of the T8 spine, the actual bone that the spinal cord is in. And the spinal cord itself is markedly softened, it's contusion, and bleeding around it, so it is also injured.
And given that that there is no exit wound that we've seen, were you able to locate this bullet?
Yes.
And what did you do upon locating the bullet?
It was removed and photographed and sealed and transferred to police.
Do you recall where in the body it was removed from?
It was removed from the T8 spine.
And at this point, I'm going to show you what's been marked, what I will identify as Commonwealth's Exhibit 21. Are you familiar with that exhibit?
I am.
And how are you familiar with it?
It is the bullet with the labeled card, bullet chest with my signature inside the sealed bag, which I sealed and initialed.
And is it in the same or substantially similar condition as it was when you removed it from Joe's body during the autopsy? And Judge, at this point, what I'd ask the court to do is admit this as Commonwealth's Exhibit 21.
Any objection?
No objection.
21?
And Judge, if we could just simply allow the jury to see the exhibits, I can walk them.
Did you want to do it with a document camera or?
We would like that.
I was just going to walk them around, or not.
Or not.
I'd prefer the document camera if you could, it'd just be easier.
Thank you,
but
Judge.
If you're concerned about it.
We don't know yet what caliber of weapons were used. I'm going to guess because of the fact that both stayed in the body that they were most likely. I'm going to go with 9mm as my guess. It's possible 40. I don't think it would be a 45. 9mm is a popular round used by Glocks, as is 40.
And,
Bullets may have been.
Privacy screens are making it difficult.
The bullets may have been hollow point as well, which are designed not to penetrate through and through the body.
Yes, and these are the fragments that you recovered from the head. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then Are you able also to see this on screen?
I am.
And is that the bullet that you recovered from the chest?
Yes.
Thank you. Going to, these have been admitted. So.
They've been admitted evidence. We'll take them.
Was that an eye roll she did, or did she just look at the ceiling briefly?
Was there anything about the structure and its injuries that was significant?
As I previously said, the bullet traveled through the heart. So now the heart is leaking, bleeding, and is no longer able to effectively pump blood.
And are you able to make any determination about his condition when that bullet injured his heart?
There was 1,200 milliliters of blood in the left side of the left chest cavity, which is 1.2 liters. So with the hole in the heart, some blood will leak passively out. However, to get 1.2 liters of blood into the left chest cavity, there has to be some sort of a pulse indicating there is some survival for at least an amount of time.
And regarding the blood that was on Joe's face, did either the head wound or the chest wound result in that amount of blood on his face?
There's a gunshot wound to the right side of his head, and as is, when I received his body, there was blood from his nose, ears, and mouth. And that injury of the gunshot wound to the head injured the skull and the facial bones, which injured the sinus cavities and the airways. So it can result in blood coming out of the ears, nose, and mouth and onto the face.
And do you have a reasonable opinion within a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to the cause and manner of death of Joe Ryan?
Yes.
And what are they?
The cause of death is multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner is homicide.
Now I'd like to turn to the autopsy of Christine Banfield. Were you able to determine, I'll give you a moment to get situated.
Changing gears here.
Were you able to determine, was she clothed when you examined her?
She was partially clothed with socks.
And did she have anything else on her person other than clothing?
Yes, there were glasses on the top of her head and her hair. She had a necklace around her neck. She had earrings in her earlobes, and she had 2 rings on her left fourth finger.
And were you able to determine her height and weight?
Yes.
After documenting her weight, her socks, jewelry, and glasses, what did you do with the items?
The personal effects were photographed and packaged and transferred to law enforcement.
I'm going to show you a photograph that I'm going to identify as Commonwealth's Exhibit 50, and I'd ask for it to be shown to the witness and counsel only at this point. Do you recognize this photo?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
It has the ruler with the case number on it.
And what is depicted in the photo?
It is the glasses after they were removed from the body.
And is it a true and accurate depiction of the glasses that as they were collected from Christine as at the time of her autopsy?
Yes.
Judge, I'd ask the court to admit this as Commonwealth's Exhibit 50 and publish it to the jury.
Okay. Any objection to 50?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. 50 in evidence.
And gallery, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And gallery.
And I'm sorry, you said these glasses were found where on her person?
The top of her head.
And at this point, could I ask for the gallery view to be terminated?
Thank you. Would the jury also, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you take any physical samples from the body?
Yes.
And can you describe what samples you took and what you did with them?
Yes. I also completed a PERC kit, a physical evidence recovery kit, which included the standard samples, head hair, oral swabs, underwear, combed pubic hair, pulled pubic hair, vaginal swabs, anorectal swabs, a blood card, fingernail clippings. In addition to the standard samples for the PERC kit, I also completed swabs of the palms, swabs of the backs of the hands, swabs of both sides of the neck, and swabs of each breast. And I removed various fibers from her body.
And what did you do with those samples when you collected them?
All of those samples were packaged and transferred to law enforcement.
And is there a particular, was that also in a physical evidence recovery kit?
Yes.
Okay. And if we could, let's talk about the physical findings from your examination. I'm going to direct you to page 6 of your report in the section titled Evidence of Injury.
There is sound.
And
obviously, if there's no sound, you're not hearing this, but you need to refresh YouTube. YouTube's having issues today. There is sound.
Judge, if we could display Commonwealth's Exhibit 11 to the jury.
They're seeing it.
Okay. There it is. Okay. You described some of the wounds as cutting wounds. The difference for us, please.
By definition, both wounds are sharp force injuries, so some injuries that are caused by something sharp, like a knife. Stab wounds, by definition, are deeper than they are long on the skin, and cutting wounds are longer on the surface of the skin than they go deep.
And I am going to show you a series of photographs at this point, and if I could have the view now be to counsel and the witness only for this portion. I'm going to show you a number of photos that I'm going to identify by number as I move through them, and just ask you to look at them at this point. I've got Commonwealth's 22, Commonwealth's 23, Commonwealth's 24, Commonwealth's 25, Commonwealth's 27, Commonwealth's 28, 29, 30, 31, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
It should be 39 and
Sorry.
40.
Sorry, not 38, 39.
Not 38.
Not 38. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49.
That's a lot of photos.
Do you recognize these photographs?
Yes.
And how do you recognize them?
They're all photographs of Ms. Banfield at the time of autopsy that have the ruler with the case number.
Judge, at this point, and are they a true and accurate depiction of what you saw as you performed the autopsy and took these photographs?
Yes.
Judge, at this point, I'd ask the court to admit the photographs, and then I'm going to talk about them and display them.
Right. Any
Judge,
objection?
may we approach?
Yes.
All right. Probable objection here is going to be cumulative. This is a lot of photos where injuries occurred, from what we understand so far, in one general area, the neck, the upper body neck area on the victim. So showing the jurors a picture for every single injury may be excessive. Let's see if they're going to let all of these in. You can use one photo to show multiple injuries. I will say this about the attack. We've always heard them say with a knife attack, it's very personal, right? He didn't shoot his wife, allegedly. He allegedly stabbed her multiple times, but it's worse than that. You've got to look at her last moments alive. Went from probably the surprise of a stranger showing up in her house attacking her to the I'm getting saved by my husband who just shot my attacker, to the betrayal of, and now my husband is killing me in a very vicious way. This was thought out. I think it's, I mean, on the husband's part to put his wife through that first, it's pretty. If everything's as the state said, that's a pretty mean thing to do to somebody. Putting it lightly. See if they can sort out these pictures and possibly parse it down just a little bit to make it a little quicker for the jury. Diabolical, that's a great word, yeah. Yeah. Not sure why the internet chose today of all days to give you guys sound problems. Heinous. Heinous is a great word as well.
All right, so I will enter into evidence then 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, all entered evidence over the objection of the defendant and under seal.
They didn't object, and they're all admitted anyway.
Okay. All right.
Little smile from the Emmy there,
Okay.
a subtle one.
If these can be published to the, okay, gotcha. Looking at Commonwealth's exhibits 22 and 23, can you describe where on Christine's body this stab wound appeared?
This is the left side of her neck, and it's a stab wound that's horizontally oriented on the left side of her neck with a cutting wound extending from the superior, which is the top aspect of the stab wound on the left side of her neck.
And going forward to 24 and 25, can you describe where on Christine's body this area of multiple stab wounds appeared?
Yes, this is the left side of her face and neck. The right side of her face and neck. There are multiple stab wounds and cutting wounds in this photograph. There is a vertical stab wound depicted as
She's checking her notes.
letter C on my autopsy report, which injures muscle and goes to the bottom of her skull and causes a fractured notched defect. There are 3 stab wounds on the left side of her neck that you can also see in this photograph. They're closely oriented on the skin. The wound paths commingle, meaning overlap, underneath the skin and the muscle in her neck. And they injure the left jugular vein, which is a major vein in the neck, the right carotid artery, and the larynx, which is the breathing tube, the epiglottis, the esophagus. There is a stab wound at the anterior aspect as well, kind of towards the front of her face with a cutting wound, as well as an abrasion present in this photograph.
And can you describe the various depths of the wounds that we see here?
The wounds range from a 1/4 of an inch deep to up to...
Observations, given your training and experience, informed your conclusions regarding the number of stab wounds on this side of Christine's neck?
In terms of the number, I counted. And for the ones that are very closely oriented beside each other, I use my training and experience to reapproximate them, the elastic fibers in the skin, kind of pull them apart more so that I could reorient them to be able to kind of put them back together to see them better.
And are any of the wounds that you described on this side of her neck or the other, are any of them immediately fatal?
No, they're all rapidly fatal injuries.
And did you note any additional injuries to Christine's body during your exam?
Yes, she had abrasions and contusions about her body.
And you recorded those?
I did.
Before we move on to those, I am going to retrieve Commonwealth's Exhibit 26.
I think she was laughing at her inability to pronounce the body part correctly, not laughing at the situation as far as the injuries go. It is odd timing, though. Building in the well, but construction's going well. A lot of noises there. Did they say 38 stab wounds? Was that the count? The audio person takes pity on us and turns down the mics for a moment. Something about scissors. Oh. Remind me, who stabbed her? Was it the husband or the intruder? Cauliflower, I think the husband, according to the state, had a plan to make it look like the intruder did the stabbing. But the state alleges that the husband was the one who did the stabbing after he shot the intruder. So
Commonwealth's Exhibit 26.
The knife he used was the one the intruder brought
to 26
per agreement.
I'm sorry, good.
Any objection to 26, the knife? Okay. All right, entered evidence, 26.
If we could remove it from and then if, Dr. Kessler, that item, Commonwealth's Exhibit 26, as you're looking at it, is that item something that could have caused the wounds to Christine Banfield's neck?
Yes, it is a single-edged knife of a compatible size with the injuries on her neck.
And if we could display it on the document camera?
Sure.
It appears to have blood stains on it. Joe was told to bring the knife as part of the play and to cut clothing off the victim.
Maybe.
That could be an indication why she was found wearing socks, glasses, earrings, rings.
It's the button on the top, if you could.
I think it's fingerprint powder on the knife. Could be. It looked like blood to me. It looked more red. We're going to find out more about Joe and especially the plan that he was specifically told to follow while he was there. First, obviously, I'm not going to.
There you go.
I'm not going to try to disparage a dead guy, a victim in this case, but
There you go.
I would say most people would not be down for this, right? Most people wouldn't be like,
There's a
yeah, I'll
button
play that part.
zooms in and out too if you need it. There you go.
It does have a little feel like Tommy, a little bit. Similar setup.
Thank you. We can put it away for now.
Maybe it's just me, Emily. Might just be me.
Okay. I would like to talk about some of the additional injuries that you noted in your report. The photographs that we're going to be looking at have already been admitted, but they are under seal. So we're looking at Commonwealth's Exhibit 27.
This happened in 2023, February 24th.
Can you describe the injuries that are depicted in that photo?
In this photograph of the front of Christine's head and face, there is a abrasion on her forehead. There's an abrasion on her left eyelid. You can see abrasions on the left side of her chin.
And then moving on to 28 and 29. Can you describe the injuries that we're seeing in these photos?
This photograph shows 3 abrasions on the left side of her chin.
And I am going to go back to 24, which we've seen before. Is there an additional injury that you noted that we can see in this photo?
Yeah. On the right side of her chin at the angle of the jaw, there are contusions, which are bruises.
Might be a jail ID.
And going forward to Commonwealth's 30, and you describe the injury that we see here.
That is an abrasion on the underside of her chin.
And in Commonwealth's 31, can you describe the injuries additional to the stab wounds that we see?
There's an abrasion at the kind of the back side of the neck. There's a bruise on the top of the right shoulder.
And moving forward to 32 and 33, can you describe the injuries we see in these photos?
In this photograph, there is a cutting wound on the top of the left shoulder with 2 adjacent abrasions or scrapes.
And in Commonwealth's 34, can you describe the injuries that you see in this photo?
In this photograph, you can see a bruise on the front side of her right arm, the upper chest on the right side, and the left side.
And in Commonwealth's 35, go ahead.
is another photograph of the bruise on the front side of her right arm.
And Commonwealth's 36 and Commonwealth's 37. Can you describe this injury for us?
This is a photograph of a bruise on the inside of her right arm.
And looking at Commonwealth's 39, can you describe that injury for us?
And that is a more close-up photograph of the bruise on the front side of her right arm.
And Commonwealth's 40.
This is a photograph of her body from the right lateral, the side, which includes the bruise on the front of her right arm.
And Commonwealth's 41, can you describe the injury for us in this photo?
This photo shows a portion of the right hand, the palm, and the right forearm, and there are abrasions across the forearm.
And 42, Commonwealth's 42?
Is a bruise on the back side of the right hand.
And Commonwealth's 43, can you describe the injury in that photo?
This is the inside of the left arm, or the medial aspect, and it shows bruises.
And you say medial aspect, what's that part? What does that mean?
The inside, the side that's closer to your body.
And in Commonwealth's 44, what injury do we see here?
This is the front side of her right thigh, and there is a dark bruise and a fainter horizontal bruise across the front of the right thigh.
And in Commonwealth's 45, can you describe what injuries we're seeing here?
This is a picture of the left leg at the knee, and just below the knee there is a bruise on the left leg.
And in Commonwealth's 46 and Commonwealth's 47, can you describe the injuries that we see in those photos?
These are photographs of the front side of the right thigh. The first photograph is further away, the second is close up, again, of a bruise.
And in Commonwealth's 48 and 49, can you describe the injury in that photo?
This is a photograph of the back side of her left leg at her calf. The first is a far away picture, and the second is a closer up photograph, also of a bruise.
She was
When I
entirely
was reading your
covered in
report,
bruises.
I noticed that the abrasions are all described as orange or red. Is there any significance to orange and red abrasions?
They're all received at the same time.
The color red typically describes bleeding, or what we call vital reaction. So the body is perfused. There's blood in the capillaries and the blood vessels around that area. The heart is pumping, there's a pulse. Vital reaction are typically associated with red abrasions and injuries. Orange abrasions are a little more unclear. They can be what we call perimortem, which is at or around the time of death, or they could be postmortem, after death, and they are lacking that red vital reaction.
And I also noticed that the contusions or bruises are all described as purple, blue, pink, gray. Is there any significance to these colors?
As we're all well aware, bruises can come in a variety of colors. Typically, after a bruise appears, it can have a different appearance on different people. And as a bruise breaks down and heals and ages, it can change colors. Typically, a bruise that is more than 24 or 48 hours, a bruise that is yellow or green is typically more than 24 or 48 hours. Just because a bruise isn't yellow or green doesn't mean that you can age it.
And so if you noted green or yellow contusions, would you be able to tell us how old those were?
That would be more definitive evidence of, yes, that is an older bruise.
So is it fair to say that the bruises that we see on Christine Banfield are not as old as a yellow or green bruise would be?
There are no yellow or green bruises, so therefore there is no definitive evidence of older bruises.
And I want to talk a bit again about the wound paths in the cutting wounds and the stab wounds on Christine's neck. Is there anything about their location on her body, their shape, their commingled nature that can tell us anything significant about her condition when they were inflicted?
Because they are closely oriented, the shapes needed to be reapproximated, which could indicate movement by her or the assailant in the knife, which indicates she is alive.
And when you examined her respiratory system during the autopsy, what, if anything, did you find?
There's evidence of hemoaspiration, breathing of blood into the lungs, and swallowing of blood into the stomach, indicating she's alive.
And when you examined her gastrointestinal tract, what, if anything, did you find?
There's blood in her stomach from swallowing.
What is the significance of finding blood in the area where you found it?
It's from the injury of the upper airway and the esophagus, so the breathing tube and the food tube in the neck, and that blood is traveling down into the lungs and down into the stomach.
And I noted that the location was listed as the lumen. What does that mean?
That means inside the stomach.
And does the amount of bloody fluid have any significance?
There was 50 milliliters of blood in the stomach, so that's, some can travel passively, but that's how much was present in the stomach.
And do you have a reasonable opinion within a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to the cause and manner of the death of Christine Banfield?
Yes.
And what is that?
And the cause of death is multiple sharp force injuries, and the manner of death is homicide.
I don't have any further questions for you. Mr. Carroll is going to have some questions for you.
Possibly.
All right, cross-examination.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Does defense handle this one?
Where's 38?
Prosecutor says, "Where's 38?" I don't know, comes the response. They're missing a picture somewhere.
Good afternoon, Dr. Kessler.
Hello.
How are you?
The courtroom's really cleared out this afternoon.
Sorry, I just need to get my act together a little bit, Judge. Dr. Kessler, looking at Joe Ryan's autopsy that you performed, there were injuries on one of his hands. I think we talked about it when we were in person. Do you recall discussing that?
Yes.
And what's the nature of those injuries?
There's, on his left thumb, there's a bruise on the back side of it. There's a bruise on the palm side of the thumb with a cut or a puncture.
I'm sorry, what was the last part?
On the palm of the left thumb,
Okay.
There's a bruise with a cut, puncture injury.
Okay.
Palm of the
And
left thumb.
would that be consistent with the knife that you've viewed?
It could be.
Okay. Now, was there any sort of discussion as to toxicology with regard to Mr. Ryan? Did you do any sort of testing regarding that?
Yes, toxicology was completed.
And what, if anything, came out from his system at that time?
The toxicology was positive for THC, carboxylic acid, 11-hydroxy tetrahydrocannabinol, and was inconclusive for tetrahydrocannabinol in the blood.
In the blood?
Yes.
Okay. And so what would that breakdown of what you just testified to, what would that indicate to you?
Spell it with crayons.
Those are typically components of marijuana. However, I defer further questions regarding the toxicology to the toxicologist.
Okay. Would it be, well, then I don't want to put you on the spot and say anything about that. I won't ask that question. And tetrahydrocannabinol is either marijuana or a byproduct of marijuana, correct?
Perhaps.
Okay. And would it be within your bounds to be able to say that there was marijuana smoked prior to this time when they ended up in the Banfield house?
I can't say that.
Okay. But it was evident in the toxicology?
It's in the blood.
Okay. Now,
interesting way of putting it, prior to the time when they ended up
in
at
your
the
dealings
Banfield
with
house.
the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, how many people did you talk to? Do you recall?
I don't recall.
Was there one person that was the person in charge of discussing things with you in the medical examiner's office?
There is typically a representative from the Commonwealth Attorney's Office who is assigned the case.
Okay, and do you know who you spoke to about this case?
This case is from 2023, so the Commonwealth Attorneys have changed throughout the course in regards to this trial here today. I discussed the case with Ms. Brisler and Ms. Sands.
Okay, did you talk to anybody else in the Commonwealth Attorney's Office?
I'm going to object to this point. Relevance.
Relevance, what's the relevance? You want to approach of the
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this is the first attempt the defense has to bring in the drama in the investigation that he promised us in the opening. Okay, he's asking, he's mentioned about, who did he talk to? Who is the lead investigator? And already the witness has been like, oh, investigators change. So I've talked to lots of people. I don't recall exactly. They're trying to not get into this. They don't want to get into this drama. I think the defense is going to get to go there because if there was somebody involved in the investigation at this point while she was doing her work, we should probably hear about it, about who it was and what they did and what happened because of that. So I think defense is starting to get that seed planted. If the prosecution wins this objection, it would be a big win. It's going to make it harder for the defense to bring this in with further witnesses as we go forward. So, was it Proctor? It was not Proctor. But let's see. It's something in mod chat. Just 1 second. Oh. Law and Crime is reporting that the au pair may testify today. Juliana may be up today, which would be huge. That's going to be interesting. Thank you, Samantha, for that little tidbit. There's proctors everywhere. If that's the case, we've gone straight from, if you look at this, we've gone from first call at the crime scene, we've got the first responders on scene, the medical examiner that shows the actual injuries that happened, and now we go to Juliana. That's going to start the story. That's going to introduce us to the website. It's going to introduce us to the plan. It's going to introduce us to some of the facts that, how things went down in the household. She's probably going to be on the stand, I'm guessing, for more than just today. It's 2:40 already. I just don't think they could get everything they need from her today, especially assuming that she still struggles with the English language. If that's still the case, it might be difficult to get all the testimony they want from her in one day. She might be back again tomorrow as well. It's not too soon no, it's not too soon. It's just, it's an interesting way to start the story with, we've got a phone call to the police. Here are the injuries that happened on the two victims. And now we have the co-conspirator who will tell us what happened. It's an interesting way of laying it out. The prosecutors have watched a Dateline or two. Yes, they have. I think a Dateline or two may have been, made because of the prosecutors. So all the people who were there this morning will be disappointed when they weren't there this afternoon. Definitely, this would probably be one of the biggest witnesses in the case, right up there with if the defendant, if he chooses to testify, which I think he will not in this one. I just don't think he should. Woohoo! Yes, woohoo. And is it Angie Demo? Angie Demo? How do we say your name? But woohoo, welcome. I share your enthusiasm for the happenings of today. She is Brazilian. Yes. Is Phil still there? He's not where he was seated before. I'm not sure if he was able to stay there. I think he said he had some real world work things that were pulling on his time as well. liking it as well. They're
Dr.
very
Kessler,
fast-paced.
Is it true that the Commonwealth, not one of these ladies, asked you to speak to an outside private expert?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
And
sustained on the objection then.
Do you know when that was?
I don't recall the date or even the year.
Okay. And did you, sorry, Judge, may I approach? I just want to make sure I don't go beyond what you.
Big sigh from the judge. It looks like the judge sustained the objection, might require more foundation before going where he wants to go. So we're not going to hear about the drama in the police station quite yet, or the investigation yet, but did allow him to at least broach one area under careful guidance. Words this carefully.
Dr. Kessler, did you make a call to that expert?
I did not make a call. I corresponded via email.
Okay.
So the emails will have dates and times on them.
Did that correspondence in any way cause you to change any of the
say no.
Findings that you would otherwise find?
No, I had already made all of my findings and developed my opinions, and they have not changed.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
All right, redirect.
Actually, I'm sorry, I have other questions not on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Dr. Kessler, in terms of the injuries to Christine Banfield, the injuries to the neck, do you have an opinion as to, I know you said rapidly, they were rapid, I forget the term you used.
I described them as rapidly fatal.
Rapidly fatal, yes, thank you. I wanted to make sure we got that. And these were the wounds that were on the neck.
Yes.
And I think you had said rapidly fatal was from seconds to minutes?
Yes.
Okay. And during that time of seconds to minutes, was there anything that would have hindered her ability to speak or say something?
There is injury of the larynx, the epiglottis, and the airway, perhaps.
Okay. So the possibility of speaking existed at that time?
I can't definitively say there, but I can confirm that there is injury of that area, not of her vocal cords, but injury of her airway and her larynx in the general area where sounds are made. But I can't tell you yes or no definitively if she could make noise or speak.
In communications, I guess in your contact with the police department, was there ever a request to determine if there was another knife?
I don't recall.
Were you ever asked for anything like that?
I don't believe so.
Okay. And is it fair to say then that the knife that you just presented to the jury was the only knife that you had any sort of contact with?
It's the only one that I recall seeing, yes.
Okay. Bear with me.
There's a difference between being alive and speaking and being not clinically dead yet. Didn't Brendan say that his hands were covered? That's why he couldn't make the call. He said, my hands were covered. Was he wearing gloves while he beat her? Is that... I'm trying to figure out why that's important.
On page 2 of your report for Christine Banfield, it says postmortem toxicology was positive for phentermine. Would that be something that would have been provided through emergency means, or do you have any way of knowing?
I have no way of knowing.
Do you know what phentermine is?
It's typically a weight loss drug. I don't know why she had it.
Okay. It wasn't something that was administered as part of, I would assume that it wouldn't be administered as part of any sort of life-saving measures or anything like that.
Not that I was indicated to me.
Okay. Judge, I don't have any questions.
Oh, all right.
Any further questions?
All right.
Thank
now
you.
read your thank you.
So if he caused these injuries, he should have some bruises on his hands as well, right? He should have like...
Judge, we don't have any redirects.
All right, is this witness subject to recall, or is she free to go?
Judge, not for me.
Mr. Carroll, is this?
Mr. Carroll's thinking it over. Hold everybody.
No, thank you, Judge.
Is she subject to recall?
No.
All right, you're free to go, doctor. Thank you. Have a good day. All right, I think this is a, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a good time to take our afternoon break for 15 minutes. So we'll go ahead and take our afternoon break for 15 minutes. Again, don't talk to anybody about the case, and don't do any outside research, okay? We'll see you in 15 minutes, okay?
Kevin is a little lost. What are you guys doing a good job muting us so we don't overhear privileged communications? Joe was not naked. He was clothed. Christine was found only wearing socks and jewelry, basically. Glasses on the top of her head, rings, earrings. Wedding, they said 2 rings on the 4th finger of left hand.
And we are...
It's a wedding ring.
The co-defendant's next, is that correct? So I'll get on the bench and we'll bring her out. And then we'll put her in the witness stand, they'll come out, and then we'll swear her in, okay?
All right,
Everybody okay with
co-defendant
that?
is next.
All right, we'll see you in 5305.
All rise.
Judge gives us 16 minutes of a break. Co-defendant is next. That means buckle up, you don't want to go anywhere. We have Juliana taking the stand. The au pair is going to spill all. She has made an agreement with the state to answer all the state's questions truthfully. This is important because there are some things that only she would know that the state would just guess at otherwise.
Call from Camila.
Camila, how are you doing? Did I say that right?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing just great. You have Brazilian background, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I was born in São Paulo.
All right. So this case is interesting to you from that aspect because this is someone who came from Brazil to be an au pair here in the United States.
Yeah, I'm not sure where she's from, but I guess she might have the same accent as I have.
Okay. That'll be interesting to hear. It's a beautiful accent, as people are saying in chat.
Thank you. It's very strong.
Yeah, and it's Camellia. Camellia?
No. It's Camila. It's just like the Queen. Yeah.
Okay, just like the Queen. I didn't know we had a Queen.
Yes. No, the Queen of England.
Do we have Camilla? Oh, we have a Queen right now?
Yeah, the Queen of England.
It's Charles's wife, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I just haven't kept up on my royal updates. It's been a while since I've been over in England, so the Queen Consort. There you go.
Yeah, and my middle name is a bit more difficult, but you have been saying just right. Greener is getting you to say as it's in Spanish, but Portuguese and Spanish it's totally different. So it's Juliana.
Juliana.
Yeah.
Camila Juliana.
Juliana, yeah.
I will say it one time right, and forever I will probably say it wrong. But, what are your thoughts on this case, Camila? As we're about to hear from I guess.
I think the au pair, I think Juliana, she should get a deal to stay in the jail here, in the prison here in the United States. If I were her, I would not go back to Brazil to get my sentence there. The jails in Brazil are crazy, are horrible. I would stay here. And I would say, no, I'll stay here and...
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is. Maybe they'll spell that out. They probably will with her on the stand so we understand. I don't know. I've seen in previous deals where we have a witness who was, agreed to testify for the state and is not a legal alien or is not a resident. They're going to be deported, but they serve their time and then they're deported. So we'll see. I don't know how that's
probably. Here. Yeah, but she's gonna start from zero if she goes back to Brazil. Probably gonna serve 5 to 6 years, and then she's gonna go get a clean slate, and so it's gonna be a new life for her there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're excited to hear what she has to say, and honestly, I'm siding with the defense a little bit. I'm going to be listening to see if any of the evidence that we've heard matches up with the story that she tells. These have to be perfectly matched up for us to believe her, right? Because she has a lot of incentive to lie. This is somebody who has a lot to gain by pinning this on somebody else if it was her.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
Can you just try to say her last name?
Juliana.
No, her last name is Magalhães.
Magalhães?
Magalhães.
My mouth doesn't make that sound. Juliana
that's
M. Juliana Perez Magalhães or something.
Magalhães. Yeah, no, that's a difficult sound.
Yes, English alone is difficult for me, so add another language and it's even harder. Let's see Sam's comment above. Please ask Camilla to pronounce her surname. There it is. That was it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gonzalez.
Yes. Yours is Gonzalez.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Now we have both.
Oh, no, you mean the co-defendant. Yeah, Magalhães. Yeah, Magalhães.
Yeah, that's like 2 or 3 more syllables than I can fit in that same word.
Thank you for talking to me.
Oh, thanks for making
the call. Getting my call.
I appreciate it. We'll see you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm going to mess up that pronunciation a billion times. Pantoufle gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Pantoufle. Super generous there. Red Ford, you're the recipient. Congratulations, back in green. All right. It sounds like Magdalene. It's close. That's probably the closest name that I can pronounce to that. The Cheer Bowl lady says, Ari, I was able to hype your channel twice this last weekend. I took a screenshot of my success. It made me so happy to be able to hype our amazing community. Thank you, the Cheer Bowl lady channels. So I'm glad you were able to figure that one out. Pantoufle says, I had big trial with withdrawals. We're back. We are back. Next lesson, Ari will pronounce Greek names. Oh, man. You guys know, words are not my friend. I don't know why I speak for a living. All right, here's another call. Is this...
Call from
Phil True Crime.
Phil True Crime. Phil, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Actually, it's Hidden Phil Crime. Man, I keep forgetting what it is. It's getting confusing.
Is this YouTube or X?
Oh, I thought you knew I was joking. I'm just joking about that.
What?
I was trying to emulate Brian Enton Investigates, but I can't compete with that guy. I was joking.
So it's just TYO Toys. I'm like, I've been hyping TYO Toys forever. I'm like, I was on board. You're like, hey, I've got a new. I'm like, great, Phil. That's awesome. You sold it so well. Completely deadpan. I bought it hook, line, and sinker, as I normally do.
You know, if you don't know me in person, I'm extremely sarcastic. So when I meet people, they have no idea that I'm just outright joking with them. And yeah, I can do a deadpan. So they never know I'm joking. But I ended up going home at the lunch break.
Oh, you're missing out. Guess what's coming up?
I know. I wanted to meet her in person, and I feel like I may have had a chance being at the courthouse. Because we've been sending, or I guess I can reveal this. Doesn't matter now. We've been sending letters back and forth. And after the trial, dude, we are heading back to Brazil.
Phil, it's too soon. It's too soon. I'm not going to fall for it this time.
Okay.
But good luck in your new pursuits.
Okay. No, actually, I had to. I can't wait to see her. I didn't know she was going to be today. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
but I on my way back to my car, I ran into a guy. I think he's from WTOP who was setting up a little GoPro at like where the media is allowed to park in front. He's going to be doing a time lapse. Like all day time lapse. So I'm looking forward to seeing that footage. I think it's WTOP.
WTOP,
look
big spenders go for the GoPro time lapse. You could get yourself a nice Sony A6600 and do the same thing and have it look great. Or you could use a GoPro, which was, I guess, if it works.
Yeah, no, this guy, he had a huge tripod, probably double the cost of the GoPro.
Wow.
But I'm interested in seeing that. And also, by the way, in this courtroom, it is 5J, same courtroom as the Depp Heard trial. They use this courtroom specifically for the high-profile cases, trials. So you may recognize it from the Depp trial. Although, yeah, I noticed, I was going through your feed, that they're not showing any of the gallery.
Yeah,
at all.
We saw you briefly. You were wearing the blue checkered, right? Blue and white checkered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we saw you briefly, but I think one of the witnesses had commented on the hot mic and said they were looking at the witness desk, and underneath it says Amber was here or something. I don't know. Rumor, I guess. Just kidding. That didn't happen. Amber was here.
There's a chick that looks like Amber Heard, and she wears the Amber Heard bun and the things on the side. She looks like Amber Heard. Is that what someone said?
No, I was joking, saying that Amber had carved her name in the witness stand.
Sorry,
I was trying to do
Amber. No, I swear, there's one young lady, she looks just like Amber Heard, and she wears her hair like Amber Heard.
She was like 2 rows ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We saw her.
No. That's a different one. She came in late and sat in the very back on the opposite side of me. I don't know if she was there after the break, but no. And I saw her at lunch. Oh my gosh, you would think it's Amber Heard. It's crazy. I got to find out who she is.
It might be.
This courtroom.
Ask her if her dog stepped on a bee. see if it's really her.
I see the walls. I was sitting right at the end of the pew next to the wall. It's like a fabric-y, sound acoustic-y thing, but I think the problem is the huge piece of wood facade that's behind the judge is like solid wood or
not
laminate
good for
or something.
Audio recording at all. But
yeah, that's where that's coming from. Otherwise, from what I could tell, the place has like really good acoustics. Maybe not for recording. Maybe it seemed very loud, so it's probably they have it turned up a little too loud.
Yeah, was it pretty much packed this morning, or what's the interest locally look like?
No, I mean waiting outside, it didn't look like that many people, and then when we filled in, there was no problem. And then people were coming in at like 9:59 9:50, 9:55. They started 10. And yeah, everyone got in, and people could have scooched together a lot more, but nobody, as far as I could tell, got held out.
Turned away. That's interesting. So if you are in the area and you want to go visit, this might be a great trial to pop in on. I always recommend if you have the opportunity to watch court in person, it hits different. Right? If it's one thing to see it on TV, it's another thing to be there in the courtroom. And always just ask everyone to follow all the court decorum rules. Be respectful. The judge is king or queen of that room. Do what they say. Obey the bailiffs and all that. And then, if you're willing, we'd love to hear your experience watching court as well, because you're able to observe things that we can't. And the camera can only look at one place at a time. So love it.
Yeah. Yesterday, lady in my row pulled out her phone, just checking it. I think she forgot the decorum. She got tossed immediately. One lady in my row also, I think it's an unlucky row I was in yesterday, but her phone went off at a very quiet time. she bailed before she could get tossed
She's
out.
self-ejected. But
yeah, they're taking that seriously.
As we're waiting for the judge to come back any minute now, the jury makeup, are they? We know they're 9 men, 7 women with 4 alternates, right?
Yeah.
Age wise, is it a wide spread? Do we have a lot of young people on the jury? What do you pick up anything like that?
I got a better look at them today. My first reaction yesterday, and I'm at the opposite side, and I'm a bit nearsighted. But my first reaction was everyone's in 30s to 40s.
Okay.
Today I got a better look. There's like one guy that's probably in his mid to late 20s, and then at least one older guy, maybe 2 older guys that are probably in 50s, but nothing over that. All the older people and younger people got tossed.
Any characters as far as show up in sweatpants and a tank top type thing, or are they all sort of just your typical jury appearance, respectful, just doing what the court says?
Yeah, there's a couple jurors wearing just like t-shirt, hoodie, whatever. Yeah, I'd say maybe a third of them are not trying to dress to impress.
Okay, fabulous. Phil, now that I know that half the time you're talking to me, you're pulling my leg, I will make a note.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought we were in on the joke together. But
I'm going through all our previous conversations, which aren't a lot, but I'm going through all of them to make sure I don't have like a misconception out there that I thought was real. But I'm glad you're not getting away from your main job. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Hidden Phil Investigates. Like and subscribe. If you can't find it, just keep searching.
It's hidden for a reason.
You'll find it.
Well hidden. Phil, thank you very much. Appreciate the call again. We'll see you.
All right.
Bye.
Awesome. See you.
He got me. He 100% got me. Princess Buttercup, my mommy has a head cold. Next week I'll be doing, she's doing a lung biopsy. She's kind of grumpy. I love her so much. Please don't mention I took her credit card. She needs prayers. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please know that you're in our thoughts and prayers. And Buttercup, put the card back. Rebecca, get feeling better. That's no fun at all. All right, just a couple minutes here, and we'll be back in court. I had all the mods, Phil. I had all the mods looking for your account. Like, is it on X? Is it on? Can you guys find it? We had them all working, and no, yeah, we're going to change. I was going to update your link because we share your link on here for TYO Toys on Twitter. I bought it. I bought the whole thing. Everybody did. Never again. We're not going to trust him, right, guys? Not me. Said Red Pen. I didn't do anything. All right. Any minute now. We're a minute late for coming back to court. We do know that when we come back, Juliana is going to be on the stand. She is in custody, so I believe she's brought in before the jury, so they don't see her walked in shackles, even though there's probably going to be obvious sign that she is in custody, probably in a jail outfit. And the first thing that's going to be mentioned is basically, hey, I see you wore orange today. Why is that?
Please be seated. All right. Anything before we have the co-defendant come out? No? Okay. We want to get co-defendant. I'm just going to wait for the jury to come back in, please. Okay.
Co-defendant obviously being handled in a separate trial because she's willing to testify. I imagine if she hadn't been willing to testify, this might have been handled together possibly in one big trial. That would have been interesting. Amber, it's right now. This is the moment. It's a big day. Day one. And we're on, witness number 6, the co-defendant. The au pair. Being escorted to the stand. She's being brought in from a holding cell here in the courthouse. Knock twice on the door when you're ready. Here we go. There's the door. And she comes. Oh, she's in regular clothes, street clothes. Interesting look from the defendant who's
Are we
locked
ready
eyes
for
with
the
her.
jury? You ready for the jury, Mr. Carroll?
You're not going to stand right there, are you, ma'am, the whole time? Seriously? That's a terrible positioning. Both first or have razor shackled hands? Because that sort of defeats the whole street clothes thing. Yeah, his demeanor has changed for sure. Jury's come in and taken their seats.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Commonwealth, your next witness.
Our next witness is Juliana Perez Malviajis.
All right, ma'am, if you could stand and face the clerk and raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now you can have a seat.
She is unshackled.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state and spell your name for the court record?
Yes, Juliana, Juliana, Perez, Beres, Magalhães, Magalhaes.
And how old are you now, Juliana?
25.
And do you know the defendant?
Yes.
What's his name?
Brian Mayfield.
When did you meet him?
Back in October 2021, 22.
When did you meet him? When did you meet him?
October 2021.
Can you specify? Sorry.
When did you first meet him?
In person when I first came to the States, and before that, through a video call with the family.
Okay. Do you recall what month or year that was?
When I came to the States?
Yes.
It was October.
Do you know what year?
2021.
Okay.
She
And
answered this question twice.
when you first met Mr. Banfield, what was your relationship to him?
It's professional. He was my boss.
And you said he was your boss.
Yeah.
What was your job?
I was their au pair.
And so you said you worked as an au pair. What does that mean?
Au pair is like a nanny position, but somebody comes from another country providing care for their kids, and in exchange they live with their family, and yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Do you get paid to be an au pair?
Yes.
How much?
$200 a week.
And how long of a stay did you have as an au pair?
We can have from a year to 2 years, but as an au pair, I stayed for a year.
Okay. And did you, so you arrived, you said you arrived in October of 2021, and you said you stayed for a year?
Yeah.
And then did you extend that stay?
Yes.
And how long did you extend the stay for?
I think I might have extended for another year.
Let's talk about when you lived with the Banfield family and worked for them as their au pair. Where did you live?
I lived in their house, in their home.
Okay. And who lived there with you?
It was Brendan, his wife Christine, and their daughter.
And we know who Brendan is.
Yeah.
Who's Christine?
Christine was Brendan's wife.
And you said their daughter?
Yeah.
What was their daughter's name?
Valerie.
What was your life like with them?
With the family?
Yeah, when you first got there, what was it like?
It was kind of a period for me to adapt to the family, to my job, to the country. But I was very welcome, I guess.
And what was Brendan like when you first came to live with the family and be their au pair?
We barely spoke. Like, my relationship was mostly with Christine and Valerie. Brendan and I barely spoke at all. Just.
Okay. What was Christine like?
Christine was very friendly, very welcoming, very fair. Yeah.
Did you spend time with her and spend time with Valerie together?
Yes.
And did you spend time on your own with Christine?
Maybe a couple times going to a store or, yeah.
Do you recall if Christine had a blood disorder?
I heard about it, yes.
And do you know the name of it?
I do not know.
Do you know if she took any medication for it?
As far as I know, no.
What was Valerie like?
Valerie is very loving, very caring. She's just...
How old was Valerie when you met her in 2021?
She was 3.5, I guess.
I'm sorry, say that again?
3.5.
And were there any other children that were living in the Banfields home while you lived there too?
No.
Do you know if they had an au pair before you were their au pair?
Yeah.
Who was that?
It was Amanda.
And when you began working for the Banfields, do you need a minute? When you began working for the Banfields, do you remember what their jobs were?
Yeah.
Or do you know what their jobs were?
Yeah, Christina was RN, and Brenda was working, I guess, as an investigator for the IRS.
At some point, while you were working for the Banfield family, did your relationship with the defendant change?
Yes.
How did it change?
It became sexual, physical relationship.
And do you recall when the relationship changed?
It was August 2022.
And did you keep the relationship, this new relationship with the defendant, did you keep this a secret?
For my part, some of my friends, they knew because I told them, and I used to post on my Instagram. But for his part, yeah, it was a secret.
Okay. You said you told some friends about it.
Yeah.
Do you remember which friends you told?
I told Beatrice about it and Pamela.
And did you take any photos of you and the defendant after you began a romantic or physical relationship?
Yes.
And you said you had posted some things to social media?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to show you a couple of photos. And if I could have this view be to the witness and counsel only, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Are they still up on Instagram?
I'm going to show you Commonwealths 51, 52, 53, and 54. This is 51, 52, 53, and 54. Do you recognize these photos?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize them?
It's me.
Made?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, what I would ask the court to do is admit these as Commonwealths 51, 52, 53, and 54.
All right, any objection? Okay, 51, 52, 53, and 54 in evidence.
And we can publish the first one to the jury.
And the gallery, right?
Can you tell us who's under the emoji here?
It's Brendan.
She goes so quick
And
with you these,
then
we're not going to be
a
able to see
couple of
them.
these have noise.
Are we going to be able to see any of these?
And then this one, Commonwealth's 53. Can you describe who this is?
It's Brendan's hand.
And whose leg is that?
My legs.
And the date on the photo that is posted, is that the date that the photo was taken?
Yes.
And this photo here, Commonwealth's 54, who's under the emoji?
It's Brendan.
Do you know when this photo was taken?
It's from the same day as the previous picture.
As the previous one?
Mm-hmm.
Prosecutor is not presenting the case in a manner that makes it easy for the video to show it. She's flying through
All right,
these.
I want to go back to 52.
Really know this.
Whoa, that's an easy way to get a copyright strike. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this happened last time.
And in that post, who is present in that post?
His person behind the emoji.
And who is behind the emoji?
Brendan.
And is it you and Brendan singing in that post?
Yes.
I need you, I want you.
So you began a sexual relationship with the defendant in August of 2022 when you were how old?
I was 21.
And when this relationship began, did you ever think about how it might end?
No. I didn't really think it was serious, a relationship.
And did the defendant ever talk with you about any long-term plans for the two of you?
Not initially.
Not initially. Did he ever, though?
Yes.
When did that talk start?
I think it started after he talked about his plan.
Okay. And did he ever talk about the two of you getting married or the two of you having children?
Yes.
And do you recall when that talk began?
Also, after he mentioned his plan.
Did he ever talk about his relationship with his wife, Christine Banfield?
Sometimes it would come up in our conversation and he would talk about it.
And what did he say?
He used to say that she didn't seem to care about where he was, what he was doing. She didn't seem to care about him at all. And that she was helpless and just lazy.
Do you recall when he said those things?
When?
Yes.
Well, many times during our conversation when she came up.
And did he ever talk to you about anything else about his relationship? Did he ever talk about getting a divorce with her?
No, he basically said divorce was not an option.
Did he say why?
Money was involved.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Money.
Okay. Anything else?
Money was involved and Valerie's custody too.
And what about those things? Did he say anything specifically about money or Valerie's custody?
Yeah, he said that he didn't want to have to share Valerie for Valerie. So he wanted to have Valerie full time. And money, because she should have more money than he would if they were split.
And so he didn't want to get divorced. Did he tell you what he wanted to do?
Yes.
What did he say?
He mentioned his plan to get rid of her.
And you said he mentioned his plan to get rid of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When did he talk about that first?
I would say it was in October 2022.
And what specifically was his plan to get rid of her?
Initially, he didn't really know what he would do. He just mentioned that he was thinking about it, and he would think better and let me know when he thought about it. Yeah.
Where were the two of you when this first conversation took place?
New York.
And were you on a trip to New York with only him?
It was him and Valerie.
What did you think when he told you that?
At first, I thought he was joking. Yeah, for me, it was a joke.
And you said that you were in New York when that conversation happened.
Yeah.
Did the three of you return to Virginia after that trip?
Yes, we did.
And did he talk about this plan again after you returned?
Yeah.
And did he give you more information or more detail about what he intended to have happen?
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to hire anybody because that is something that throughout investigation can be discovered easily. And that he had heard of a website called Fat Life. He's never done anything on the website, but he heard about it, and that's what he was going to do.
And did he tell you anything more about the plan at this point?
At that point, not really. He was still thinking about it.
And at the end of October of 2022, did you visit a shooting range?
Yes.
And did anyone come with you?
Brendan.
The first time that you went to the shooting range, do you recall signing any paperwork?
Yes.
Judge, at this point, I'm going to display a photograph. I would ask for the display to be to the witness and counsel only.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to look at the screen in front of you. Do you have, is there a document on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to scroll through this document for you slowly.
Just for the record, could you, the exhibit number of the
Oh,
document?
it is exhibit number 56.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Good advice here.
Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes.
And how do you recognize it?
It's the waiver you have to sign when you first go to the shooting range.
And did you sign this?
Yeah.
Is that your signature there on page 6?
Yes.
Judge, at this point, I'm going to ask to admit this as Commonwealth's 56 and allow for it to be published to the jury.
Any objection? All right, 56 in evidence and published.
And I'm going to just bring it back up to the top so that the jury can see it. Do you recall the date on the form?
Yeah, October 29, 2022.
And on that
after she'd
date,
been here.
do you recall shooting a firearm?
Yes.
Do you remember if it was a handgun or a long gun?
It was a handgun.
And was the defendant with you while you were firing the handgun on that day?
Yes.
Did you ever go back to the firing range again?
Eventually, we did.
Do you remember when you went back to the firing range?
I'd say back in December.
And did you practice firing a firearm on that December visit?
Yes.
And again, what kind of firearm? Do you recall if it was a handgun or a long gun?
It's a handgun.
And was anyone with you when you returned to the firing range in December?
It's Brendan.
Judge, at this point, I'm going to ask for the view of Commonwealth 56 to be terminated to the gallery.
She said the word terminated.
I'm going to move to Commonwealth 57.
It's the third time she's used it in this trial. Should we count that?
The view of the witness and counsel only at this point. Do you see a photograph on your screen?
I do.
Okay. And do you recognize this photograph?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
It's me at the shooting range.
And do you know who took this picture?
Brendan.
Judge, at this point, I am going to ask to have this admitted as Commonwealth 57.
All right, any objection to 57? All right, 57 evidence and published.
Did the defendant tell you why he wanted to return to the firing range for that second visit?
Yes.
And why was that?
It's in case I need to use it if something goes wrong.
And what would go wrong? What was he concerned about going wrong? Had he told you more of his plan at this point?
At that point specifically, I can't really recall.
But he told you that he wanted you at the firing range because you needed, in case something went wrong.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
After the December visit to the shooting range, what, if any, additional steps did the defendant take to move his plan forward?
It was in January when he created the account on the website.
Okay. So were you present when he created the FetLife account?
Yes.
And did he use his own email address to create the account?
No, he did not.
What email address did he use?
He created a new email account for Christine, and Christine's name.
And were you there when he created that email address?
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you recall what device he used to create the email address?
To her laptop.
And when you say her laptop, whose laptop are you talking about?
Christine's laptop.
And do you recall what device he used to create the FetLife account?
That was the laptop.
And when you say the laptop, are you talking about Christine's laptop?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall the name of the profile that the defendant created for the FetLife account?
Anastasia Knight.
And was there a photograph added to that profile?
Yes.
Who is the photograph of?
It's Christine's body in a bathing suit.
And who added the photograph to the profile?
Brendan did.
And who typed the words for the profile?
He did.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Brendan did.
Okay. If I could have the view terminated to the gallery at this point.
So the fourth or the fifth time she's terminated.
And I am going to ask for exhibits 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, and 65, all photographs, to be displayed to the witness and counsel only at this point.
These might be profile pictures.
I'm going to show you a series of screenshots, and then I'm going to ask you about them. So this is 58, 59, 60, 61.
The bailiff's peeking over their shoulder, looking at it.
63, 64, and 65. Do you recognize these photos, these screenshots?
Yes.
How do you recognize them?
It was the FetLife account.
And Judge, at this point, I'm going to ask to admit Commonwealths 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, and 65 to be admitted under seal and published to the jury only.
All right. No objection. All right, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, admitted under seal.
Okay, and I'm going to run back through them.
58.
Okay. So Commonwealth 58, is this the FetLife profile that was posted?
Yes.
And the about section here that we can see, who wrote the words in that? Who composed that?
Brandon.
Here's where the blush counter comes in.
And then in 59, Commonwealth 59, is this also a part of the FetLife profile?
Yes.
And then Commonwealth 60, is this the photograph that was used as the profile photo for the FetLife
Yes.
profile? And then Commonwealth 61 here, is this the group, for lack of a better word, that this profile was posted in?
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat again, please?
Sure. This photograph here, Commonwealth 61, is this the group within FetLife that you use to communicate with other users?
Yes.
And then Commonwealth 62, is this the post that you and Brendan used on FetLife?
Is there an what's your objection, Mr. Leading? Okay.
Okay, understood. All right.
I'll sustain the objection.
Take a look at Commonwealth 62. Can you describe for us what it is?
It's a post made on a profile, FetLife.
And what was the reason for posting it?
It was what the account was first created, I guess, and to tell people what she was looking for.
And whose idea was it to post this?
Audio's off a bit.
Whose idea was it to post this?
Brendan.
Gonna fix the audio. Hold on just 1 second.
We can terminate this view at this point. How did you and Brendan, how did you use the laptop? How did the two of you use her laptop without her knowing about it?
It was because every time she used to get home from work, she'd throw her backpack by the door, and in the backpack was her laptop and her work stuff.
And once the FetLife account was created, what, if anything, did the two of you do with it?
Texting other people, other guys. They would also text looking for whatever it is that they're interested in.
Okay. And had Brendan explained to you at this point in time, or was there any explanation given to you about what it was that he was using FetLife for, or what it was he was looking for from another FetLife user?
Yeah.
What was that?
The website is for BDSM, people that like that kind of stuff, and he said we would be able to find somebody that plays like aggressive or that likes playing with blood and that kind of stuff.
And why? What was the what if any reason did he want to find someone like that for?
Well, because the person would be eventually, the person would be invited to come to the house, and he needed to know that the person was willing, or he was going to do what he had in his mind.
And what was he using FetLife to ask other users to do to the Anastasia profile?
Things like pinning her down, gagging her, spanking. Yeah.
And when the two of you used FetLife to message other people, who would do the typing? Were you typing? Was Brendan typing?
To talk to other people?
Yes.
You asked. Sometimes it would be him, sometimes it would be me by his instruction when he was with me.
And were the two of you typically together while you were using FetLife to message other people?
Yes.
And was Christine home or not home when the two of you used FetLife?
She was home.
Always?
Yes.
Why?
Because he always mentioned for us to make sure to log in on that account when she was also home. So it would have, throughout the investigation, it would have been very clear that, like, whenever she was using the profile, she was home, and yeah.
And you said because during the investigation, why would there be an investigation?
Well, he always thought, like, in advance, he knew how the investigation would go. Like, he always knew, and yeah.
They did it when she was home because it was her laptop that she brought home
But why
from
did he
work
know?
as well.
What did he know?
Yeah, why? You said because he always knew about the investigation. What did he know about an investigation? There hasn't been one yet.
He knew eventually we would have one investigation.
Why?
Because there would be a murder, and it's just what happens. Investigation.
And did he tell you that?
Yeah.
What specifically did he tell you about that?
Well, he knew that we needed to have some alibis. He knew that he needed to change his routine a few weeks prior, so it wouldn't be odd that he wasn't, just at McDonald's on that day specifically.
Okay. I am going to show you a couple of items one at a time. The parties have stipulated to the admissibility of the next two items, the next several items. The first two are going to be Commonwealth 66 and 67.
Wow.
And Judge, Commonwealth 66, I'm going to ask to have published to the jury and counsel only, and I'm going to ask that these be under seal.
66 and 67?
Yes.
And there's an agreement to admissibility, is that correct, Mr. Kara? Okay, so 66 and 67 are in evidence under seal.
Say that again.
I think the defendant is busy writing his version of everything that they're saying, that she's saying right now, to highlight the differences and where she's lying. At least in his mind. Approve of the crappy pen they gave him. Okay, we ask you guys to be good in chat. I realize that the topics that we're talking about here are ripe for the picking when it comes to jokes, but be mindful of the channel. Don't get us in trouble, please. Now we have no audio whatsoever. Waiting for the lawyers to finish talking things over. So the mute is on their end. No regrets. Correct.
I'm gonna move on.
Okay, I'm gonna set them up on the
All right.
For a minute, and then we'll go back to 66 and 67. Did you and the defendant ever travel out of town together?
Yes.
Where did you go?
To Winchester, Virginia.
Do you recall when that was?
When?
When?
Not exact date, no.
Do you know if it was before or after that the defendant created the FetLife profile?
Can I say if I'm not 100% sure though?
You don't recall?
No.
Okay. How did you arrange to go to Winchester together?
He was going for an overnight stay in a hotel for his job.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
And he took his car, his work car, and I took the white car to drive.
And when the two of you were in Winchester, was there ever any posting on FetLife at that time?
No.
And why would that have been?
Because, like I said before, that he always made sure to...
What's your objection, Mr. Carroll? Your microphone, I can't. It's very hard to hear you. What's your legal objection?
Legal objection. She's asked and answered that she didn't do any posting. And so,
asked and answered.
any further question?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
He said asked and answered.
I don't think I asked her if any of them posted on FetLife while they were out of town in Winchester.
Okay, I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Sorry. Did either of you post on FetLife or message anyone on FetLife while the two of you were in Winchester?
No.
And why is that?
Why is that?
Because we would only post when we were home and she was home at the same time.
Okay. And were there any other things that the two of you did to make it look like Christine was the one messaging in FetLife? Do you want me to ask that a different way?
Yes, please.
Did the two of you ever message people or post on FetLife when Christine was home and only one of you was home?
Yes.
And whose idea was that?
Brenda's.
And did he say why?
Yes.
And why was that?
Because, again, when he talked about the investigation we would have at some point, he pointed out that where our phones pin, and so we wouldn't be able to accuse him of doing that, because sometimes she would be doing it, posting and messaging, and she would be home, and he wouldn't be home. And other times I wouldn't be home. And so there would be no way to actually prove it, and that's the alibis Pete talked about.
Can you recall any specific instances of how it would have worked for one of you to be home posting while Christine was home and the other one was out of the home?
That normally happened when both of us went to the gym, and he would tell me to leave earlier and go home so I'd get home before him and text people, talk to people. And other times he would tell me to hang in the gym behind, and he would leave earlier so he would be the one logging in and talking to people.
Okay. And the gym that you're talking about, do you recall which gym that was?
Yeah, Lifetime.
And did the two of you, and do you know which location?
Yeah, Reston.
Did the two of you go to Lifetime Fitness together frequently?
Yes.
Did Christine go with the two of you?
It was just maybe a couple times, but nothing. It was normally Rana and I.
Okay. I'm going to go back to Commonwealth 66 and 67 at this point. If we could see 66.
If you can publish from the table, please.
Just give us a second. Jury, it's already in evidence. In the gallery.
These were.
Oh, sealed. No, never mind. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so looking at Commonwealth 66, can you see it on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. And then at the top of your screen, there's a column that's titled User ID. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. The user ID identified as Anastasia 9.
Okay.
Anastasia 9 or Night?
Who wrote the messages from Anastasia 9? Not that specific message, but just in general. Who is the person or persons who are writing the messages from Anastasia 9?
It's either me or Brendan.
And the other user IDs that we see that are largely numbers in this view, are those messages that are received by you and the defendant using the Anastasia 9 profile?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to ask for us to scroll forward a little bit to location number 367 or cell 367.
They've got 100.
The user ID Taco Supreme 7000. Did you come to know who that was?
That's Joe.
And now if we could switch to Commonwealth 67.
Thank
the
you.
Taco Supreme 7000 profile that you came to know as Joe Ryan. We see that profile, and we see Anastasia 9 communicating in this view of the spreadsheet. Do you recognize these as FetLife chats that you and Brendan wrote and received? And when the two of you were using FetLife, I've asked you before what it was that Brendan was looking for. What is it about Joe's answers and messages that attracted Brendan to selecting Joe? Did he ever tell you?
He told me at some point too, but he was always making comments like, that it was the white person.
Did he say why?
Because he seemed to be like the person who would do the things that Brennan needed the person to do.
Okay. And I'm now going to ask you to look at Commonwealth's 68, 69, 70, 71, and 72, one at a time.
Can you go back to that numbers?
Go back to this?
Yeah. You're still connected.
If they're the same.
Okay.
And Judge, let's look at 68 first.
We're just getting back to the podium. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I do think these are all Excel spreadsheets.
Okay, do you want to
stay with me?
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're having trouble with Excel from this computer.
Okay.
So first, if we could look at 68 from and again, Your Honor, the parties have stipulated to the FetLife chats. So I believe that all of these exhibits can be admitted, but I'd ask that they be admitted under seal.
68, 69, 70?
68, 69, 70, 71, and 72.
Okay. Is that correct, Mr. Carroll? Do you need to see them all? She said you've already agreed to... Not the miscibility, but just to the foundation.
These are the same exhibits that were provided to council last weekend. They're.
But if you could go through them, do you want me to go through these and make sure? Okay. Do you need to see them? Is that what you? Okay, I'm sorry. Just if you don't have your microphone on, I have a lot of trouble hearing you up here. Okay. All right. So you need to see.
My client and I need to see.
You go through all those exhibits, Ms. Bristler.
Okay. So looking at 68 is a short one.
Is that the one that's on screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, no objection.
All right, so 68 in evidence under seal. Is this 69 we're looking at?
This is 69.
Pause for a second.
All right, no objection, 69 under seal.
Pause for a second. We have some issues with the buffering, but we're going to get it sorted out. The internet, is there like a solar storm going on right now?
No objection.
That's 67? Is that correct? I'm sorry, 70?
That's 70.
70, okay, 70 under seal.
71. If we could look at 71.
No objection.
All right, 71 under seal, and then 72.
Earthquake. I think there's something going on with the internet today.
All right, so 72 also under seal. Okay, thank you.
Okay. If we could go back to 68.
If I'd known the internet was going to be this bad, I would have turned on the delay on my live stream.
Can you see on your screen Commonwealth 68?
Yes.
Okay. And you see again, in the menu, in the title bar there, you see ID, conversation ID, user ID, body. So the conversation ID that we're looking at, I just want to check and make sure we're both looking at the same thing. 446774523.
Yes.
Okay. So we see these messages between this user ID and then the Anastasia profile. This user ID says, wish I could get you to come meet me at my hotel in Richmond next Wednesday night. And then the Anastasia profile says, thank you, Richmond is too far for me. I'm looking to chat a bit before meeting someone. So why would it be that you guys wouldn't have pursued this user?
Because all along, his plan was for the person to come in the house.
Yeah. And when we're looking again at the Anastasia profile, is it you and or Brendan who is operating the Anastasia profile?
Yes.
Okay. Then if we could move on to Commonwealth 69. So just making sure that we're looking at the same thing on the screen. I'm looking at conversation 4478690.
Yes.
All right, okay. So this person is looking for someone to meet up with at restaurants and coffee shops and just talking and getting to know one another. They'd like to go to an event eventually, and they say they're pretty new to Fat World, but willing to learn. And then the Anastasia profile says, I'm not looking to go out on dates, sorry. Why is it that the two of you wouldn't have pursued, why would Brendan have not pursued this person to further converse with?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So
it was a complicated
this person
question.
is asking to meet out in public. Mm-hmm. Is that something that Brendan was interested in having the Anastasia profile do?
No.
Why not?
Because again, he needs somebody that would agree to come to the house. Yeah, so to do the things that he needed the person to do.
And meeting out in public is not something that.
No.
Let's look at the exhibit Commonwealth 70.
She has been on the stand for about an hour.
I want to stay at the top first. Okay. So again, just making sure we're looking at the same document. I'm looking at conversation ID 452-721-523.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this user ID messages the Anastasia profile and says, saw your ad, I'm interested, a little bit about what I like and have done in the past. First off, restraints, and I've used rope and some leather cuffs and some vinyl tape. The profile goes on to describe
like wrapping paper? What
specifically, is he talking about? What experience and what equipment that this person has and can bring to this relationship. Is this someone that is this someone that the two of you might have been interested in?
Can I just read it over?
Say that again?
Can I just read it over?
Yes, of course. Take your time.
English is her second language, and this prosecutor talks quickly and asks complex questions, so it's causing a little bit of a problem, but she's communicating very well so far. When people ask me what equipment I have, I assume they're talking about cameras and audio switchers, mixers, cables, things like that. Guess I'm in a different business. Lots of cords.
Yes.
And if you could scroll down a little bit. So this conversation looks like it went on for a little bit longer than the past two conversations. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And then if you look at cell number 931,
each cell is a text exchange.
the profile says, the other user says, I would expect that you might want to meet somewhere in public before doing anything in private. Your call on how or when to do that. Most weekdays, I could get away at some point during the day to get a bite to eat or coffee or a drink after work, and then it goes on from there. Did you guys answer that? Take a look at the spreadsheet and let me know if you see an answer to this request to get together.
No,
And why wouldn't you have responded?
because that's not something he was interested in, going for a coffee or meeting in public.
Okay. And then if we could go on to Commonwealth 72. And then if we can move down to cell number 571.
I have to blow it. Say it again. Sorry.
There we go. Okay. So in this conversation, and let's make sure we're looking at the same conversation again. I'm looking at conversation 448-599-624.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So in this conversation, there's some initial talk, and then in cell number 571, the Anastasia profile says, I don't have restraints. It's something you would need to bring and be comfortable doing. Sounds really intense. And then there's more, but I'm not going to read that aloud. Why did the other user need to bring restraints?
Well, because we didn't have it, and whoever the person was going to be was supposed to bring all the stuff, like the restraints and or cuffs, whatever the person's supposed to have to bring.
And whose idea was that?
Brenda's.
And what else was the person eventually supposed to bring?
Eventually, you want the person to bring a knife.
Okay. And when we look at cell number 572, this user responds to the Anastasia profile, and this user says, so I'm a vet. We'd need to work up to restraints. I don't recommend them until the second or third time, once trust is there. And then in 573, this user says, if you're for real, let's grab a drink or coffee in public to see if there's attraction, no expectations. I work out in Fairfax County on Tuesdays if you're around. And then Anastasia responds in 574. And is it you and Brendan still operating the Anastasia profile at this point in time?
Yes.
So you tell her, I'm not interested in going on a regular date. That takes away from the excitement and the thrill of the first meeting. Why is that? So this is the third time that we've seen FetLife users saying, let's meet someplace, let's meet in public. And this person says, essentially, I've been doing this a while, and usually we don't get to that part until the second or third time we meet. So why is it important why is it significant why is it, again, that that the Anastasia profile keeps refusing to meet in public?
Because of the plan I had in mind, that would need to happen in the house. The person would need to come over, bring their stuff, and because it was not real, it was not Christine talking, so there was no way going out on a date to first meet the person.
All right, let's move on to Commonwealth 71.
I have 71 now. 71. I thought you said 74. 71, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And then just again, make sure we're looking at the same conversation. I'm looking at conversation ID 446-943-660.
Yes.
This conversation, and I'm going to ask if we could just scroll through the conversation so we can see kind of the length of it. So it looks like this conversation is longer to me. Does it look longer to you?
Yes.
And if we could look at cell 145. So in this conversation, can you take a look at cells 145, 146, 147, and 148, 149?
Sounds like a lot of the people she was contacting with, or they were contacting, had at least some measure of, we know this is risky. I don't want to be put in a bad situation. That's why we want to meet first.
All right.
And so this user is still expressing, this is this is a different user, and this user is expressing discomfort at coming to someone else's house. This user says, I mean, I'm more than fine to play that role, just not at someone else's house where your husband could come home at any time. And then the Anastasia profile, which again, is that you and Brendan as the Anastasia profile?
Yes.
And so you tell this user that he works a set schedule and that she works a rotating schedule, and childcare responsibilities make it harder to plan around, and that they're only comfortable at my house and feel best about being there and recovering and relaxing at home afterwards. Again, the Anastasia profile, you and Brendan are saying, we don't want to come outside of our house. And is this for the same reason?
Yes.
And then this user in cell number 143 tells her, the concept is very hot, yeah, but the way you explain it does not look great on my side if anything were to go wrong. Basically, going into your home uninvited, tying you up, and taking advantage of you.
That's pretty much it.
Is that what the intent was? To have someone come in?
Yes.
And to behave in the manner.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to object to the leading nature of these questions. It's been.
I'll sustain this leading.
I'll move on. Did you and Brendan ever agree to meet a FetLife user in public?
No.
Did you ever agree to meet another FetLife user at a hotel?
No.
Or at another user's home or work?
No.
And so ultimately, out of all the users in the Commonwealth 67 and the few conversations that we've explored, Joe Ryan was selected. Yes. Who chose Joe?
Brendan.
And did he say why he picked Joe after interacting with him on FetLife?
It was mostly because he made Brendan feel confident enough that he would be the person to play the role they needed the person to play, which means being aggressive and hold her down and come over to the house and bring stuff and all that, yeah.
And did you and the defendant ever use any other form of communication with Joe Ryan?
Yes.
And what form of communication was that?
It was a telegram.
And were you present when the Telegram account was created?
Yes.
Who created the Telegram account?
Brendan.
And how did he do that?
He used her laptop on its anonymous page and he had her cell phone with him at the time because he needed to receive a code on her cell phone so she could create the account on Telegram.
And how did you and the defendant communicate with Joe Ryan on Telegram?
By texting.
Did you use any other form of communication on Telegram with him?
Phone call, phone call.
And who was it that spoke on the phone with Joe Ryan when you had that phone call?
I spoke to Joe.
I think so. Your Honor, we can switch from the table to the podium.
Which one? The podium?
Yeah, podium.
Okay, podium. Take the jury.
Are we getting the Telegram messages?
When you spoke on the phone, did Joe comment on your accent?
Yes.
What did he say?
That was the first thing he said. As soon as I said hi, he was surprised that I had an accent. And he asked, "Oh, you have an accent?" I didn't know. And I told him, yes.
Now I'm going to show you Commonwealth 73, and I would ask for this to be displayed to counsel and witness only. And if I could have the court's indulgence for just one moment.
Sure.
Tomorrow I'm going to add a 10-second delay on our live stream. We'll give YouTube
Okay.
a little more time to handle the stream.
Do you have something on your screen in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. And Judge, Commonwealth 73 has been stipulated, admissibility has been stipulated by the parties.
All right. Yes, sir. Okay, that's true. Okay, so 73 in evidence. Thank you.
Yep. And so we could publish that to the jury.
Okay.
I'm going to scroll. This is a lengthy exhibit, so I'm not going to scroll through all of the bubbles, but I'm just going to scroll through a few pages so that you can get a sense of the two parties communicating. Now, in looking at these conversations, we see that the blue bubbles are from Anastasia. Who is operating the Anastasia profile on Telegram?
Brendan and I.
And then we see the green bubbles are from Joe. The owner is Joe.
Yeah.
Did you come to know who that person was, or did you learn who that person was?
Joe? Mm-hmm. I mean, just when he came to the house that day, on the 24th.
I'm looking at page 2.
Here we go.
Joe sends a message on February 20th that says, "I'm looking forward to Friday." Who chose February 24th, 2023 as the date?
Brendan.
And did he say why he chose that date?
He did say why, but right now I can't recall.
Okay. I'm going to scroll forward to page 28. Which I apologize for the scrolling. But
The camera's filming a TV screen, so we're seeing the refresh rate lines on the screen interact with the shutter rate of the camera. That's why it looks so funky, and it's difficult to focus on a screen, a flat surface.
there is a photograph in one of Joe's posts that I'm going to try to blow up here. Take a look at the photograph. Do you see it in front of you?
Yes.
Did Brendan see that photograph?
He did.
And did he make any comments on that photograph?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Those are chains, a knife,
That
and zip
was
ties.
not the knife he was expecting the person to bring. When he asked about the knife, he was expecting a pointy knife that would be easier.
All right.
Did look like the same knife, or a
And
very
I'm
similar
going to move
knife.
down to
It's one that was presented to the
page
jury earlier.
41. On page 41, we see the Anastasia profile. Again, is that still you and Brendan?
Yes.
Okay. And the Anastasia profile says, oh, I forgot to tell you, I do have a dog. She's very nice, but she will be in the basement. Who sent that message?
Brendan?
I am going to terminate this view here. If I could ask for it to be terminated to the gallery.
Terminate again. I think we've had 8 terminates now.
Before February 24th, 2023, the day of, did the defendant ask you to do other things to get ready?
Can you ask differently?
Sure. Did you keep the same cell phone that you initially obtained when you came to the U.S.?
No.
Can you tell me about your cell phone in relation to the date of February 24th, 2023?
Yeah, a few days prior, Brendan told us to trade in our phones.
Okay. And did you do that?
Yes.
And why did you do that? Why was it necessary to get a new phone?
Because he told me to get rid of my other phone where it had pictures and other stuff, and because even if I reset my phone, it was to be able to see the things I had before.
And what about your Apple ID? Did you keep the same Apple ID?
No.
Why did you change Apple IDs?
Because they also said that you would be able to see through my Apple ID the things I had on my phone before.
And did Brendan get a new phone as well?
He did.
Do you know, did it happen at the same time or at a different time than you?
A different time.
And was there anything, were there any changes to the home?
Yes.
And can you talk about that?
They changed all the windows in the house, and Brenda's description of the window was more soundproof. That's how I would say it. I'm not sure if that's how you call it, but that's the description.
Okay. And what, if anything, did he have you do with regard to that?
After they changed all the windows in the house, he told me for us to test, and he had told me to go up to the master bedroom, and he would be outside in the driveway, and he told me for me to scream from the master bedroom to see if he could hear anything from the driveway, but I didn't do it.
Okay. Did you do anything different instead?
Instead, he told me so I could go out in the driveway, and he would go up to the master bedroom, and he would be the one screaming, and I would just tell him whether or not I heard anything, and also from the backyard, because the back of the house had trail and neighbors, and he will make sure people wouldn't hear from there.
And did you do that?
I was out to see if I could hear him, yes.
And could you?
Barely.
And then where did you usually park your car?
My car I would park normally in the driveway. Other times I park by the mailbox in the cul-de-sac.
And did you park it somewhere else in preparation for February 24th, 2023?
Yeah, the night before I parked in the cul-de-sac.
Why did you do that?
Brandon told me to do so because maybe Joe would come around to see what he was getting himself into, or maybe in the morning, and then he would see a different car, and you'd scare him away, and yeah.
And then, so those are all things that you did. Did the defendant do anything else in preparation for that day?
Yeah, he went around in the neighborhood, checking for ring cameras, doorbell cameras, the doors. He knew that our neighbor, he didn't have cameras, and our neighbor to our left, and our neighbor John in front of us also didn't have cameras, but he was checking for other neighbors, and also changing his routine so the day that happened, he wouldn't be odd that he was at McDonald's like 6 minutes away. So he started leaving the house earlier to go to work, and he would stop by somewhere else to eat breakfast or something. And yeah, and so that he wouldn't be odd.
Okay. How did the defendant know that Christine would be out of the home on that morning?
She was supposed.
I'm sorry. How did the defendant know that Christine would be at home that morning?
Yeah, she was scheduled to work that Friday morning, and he had told me that he would talk to her out of it to like change, and so instead of home and.
What was the plan for you and Valerie to be out of the house?
They had said about telling her that Valerie and I would go to the zoo, spend all day at the zoo, and we would be leaving the house early. And so, yeah, that was the plan for me and Valerie.
When did you tell her about the plan?
I told her it was a few days prior to, but I told her in person because he didn't want any messages where I would be asking, telling her about it. So the conversation I had with her was in person a few days prior.
And you said the conversation was in person, and why? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, you couldn't hear?
Yeah. Why was the conversation in person?
So you didn't be me requesting talk down her that we're going asking to go, and yeah, so he wanted things in person.
And who wanted things in person?
Brendan.
Okay. Was there really an au pairs trip planned for the zoo that morning?
There was not.
When you woke up on the morning of the 24th, what happened first?
I woke up early. I think I had an alarm on my phone, and went downstairs to the kitchen.
Do you recall what time you got up?
I would say 6 something.
Did you wake up Valerie that morning?
No, Brendan did.
And who brought Valerie to you that morning?
Brendan.
Did he say anything to you when he left Valerie with you?
She said Christine was asleep.
And what did you do next?
Next, I started getting her ready downstairs. And Yeah, for now, I was just getting her ready, like in the living room downstairs.
Did you or Brendan text Joe that morning?
Yes.
And on what platform?
On what?
On what platform? How did you contact him?
A Telegram.
Okay. And in the Telegram messages, we can see instructions for Joe to park in the driveway.
What exhibit is this? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
What exhibit is this on the
I
screen?
apologize, Your Honor. This is Commonwealth 73.
73, so it's already in evidence, so
Yes, it
we
is
can
already in
publish it to the
evidence.
jury. Thank you.
I apologize, I don't know exactly on what page. I'm just going to move on. I can't find the page at this moment. How is Joe supposed to get into the house?
I had told him during the phone call that the door would be unlocked.
Okay. And who unlocked the front door?
Brendan did, using Christine's cell phone.
And I'm going to show you, if I could have 231.
Was that 231?
231.
Thank you.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Do you know what that is? Do you recognize that?
I would say it's Christine's cell phone.
And do you recognize the app that is showing?
Yes, that's the tab that will control the front door lock and the thermostat in the house.
And is this the app that was used to unlock the door?
Yeah.
How?
The app on the cell phone, the person can choose how many minutes the door is gonna lock and.
231.
Any objection?
Okay.
All right, 231.
And that can be published to the jury.
And published.
Yes.
She's spilling all the beans, how this plan went down. She seems to know all the details.
What did Brendan do with the phone, if anything, after he made sure that the door would stay unlocked?
He deactivated the door lock on her phone, and he turned it off and hid the phone in the drawer in the bar area we have, like in the kitchen.
And at this point, we can terminate the view.
All right.
We should do a terminate counter.
Before the two of you left the house that morning, did you have any other conversation with Brendan?
No, he had, after I texted Joe, he said, Brendan told me he would be leaving the house at that moment, for me to wait a few minutes before leaving the house with Valerie.
What, if anything, did he give you in that morning before the two of you left?
Gun.
What kind of gun?
It's a handgun.
And what did you do with that?
I put it in my pocket, in my sweater.
Who was it that left the house first?
Brendan did.
And what was the plan for him that morning? Where was he going to go, and what was going to happen next?
He was going to stay, he was going to go to the McDonald's, which is, let's say 5-6 minutes away from our house by the clock tower, and he would stay there until whenever I called him.
And what were you supposed to do?
I was supposed to stay in the car with Valerie to put something on her iPad for her to watch. And as soon as I saw Jariah pulling up the driveway, I was supposed to give Christine a call, but her phone would be off, it would go to voicemail, and I was supposed to call him right away and tell him there was somebody strange coming to the house, and that I was scared, and yeah.
Okay.
She's being extremely consistent.
So let's go step by step. Did you leave the house?
Yeah.
Did you go to the car?
Yes.
And did you put Valerie inside the car?
Yes.
And did you begin to put a show on for her?
Yeah, I was trying to connect her tablet on the Wi-Fi on my phone.
Okay.
So I could put on a show for her on Netflix.
And then, what, if anything, did you see after that?
I think after a couple minutes, I do not know how many minutes passed. That's when I saw Joe pulling in the driveway, and I was still parked in the cul-de-sac, and I called Christine's phone and went to voicemail, and I called Brendan right after, as he had instructed me to do.
And did Brendan say why he wanted you to call Christine's phone and then call his phone?
Yeah, so then you'd have the history, the phone call history on her phone that I had tried to call her. Yeah.
And then what happened next? You said you saw Joe arrive.
Mm-hmm.
What, if anything, did you see him do?
He just went straight to the driveway, parked next to Christine's car, and I called. After I called Christine, I called Brendan, and then he picked up the phone, and I was telling him just the way he had said, and like there's somebody strange coming to the house, I'm scared, and he told me for me to stay there, he would be coming home, and that he would try to also call Christine.
I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Do you recall when it was that Brendan told you, when Joe arrives, call Christine, and then call me? Do you recall when he told you that?
It was throughout the whole process when I think he had all his plan in his mind, and then he just told me how things were going to happen. This is going to happen. You do this, and then you do that, and that's going to happen. But I cannot say for sure, like, the period, like, when that was, I cannot say it.
At this point, you've seen Joe Ryan go into the house, you've made your phone calls. What, if anything, happened at this point?
After I call Brendan, he says he's coming, and then a few minutes pass. Again, I don't know how many minutes. But it felt like forever. And he arrived, he parked his car next to the mailbox, and he got out the car, he was crossing the street, and I got out the car, I got Valerie out of the car too. Then we went following him to the back of the house, to the door that leads us into the basement.
Okay. And whose idea was it to go into the basement?
Brenda's.
And whose idea was it for all of you to go into the basement?
Brendan.
And did all three of you go into the basement together?
Yeah.
And when you accessed the basement, the back door of the house, how did you get in?
The three of us got into the house through the basement door, which was in the back of the house.
And when the three of you went into the basement, did anyone lock the door to the outside that you had just come in?
Door or doing anything, the door.
Do you recall if their dog was in the basement when you went inside?
I saw her in a flash. And also because I knew she was going to be there in the basement. But what happened with her after that, I don't know.
Okay. Did she go upstairs with you?
What is it?
I'll move on. So is Valerie still with you at this point in time while you're in the basement?
Yes.
Okay. And so what did you do with Valerie?
Bernard told us to stay there in the basement. And again, I knew we were supposed to stay there, she and I. And he went upstairs to the main floor.
Okay. And what if anything did you do?
I just stayed with her. And after a couple minutes passed by, and I had told her for you to like stay here. And then I also went upstairs to the main floor.
Was that something that you decided to do, or was that a part of, was that something that you were told to do?
It was something I was told to do. It was part of his plan.
Say that again?
It was part of his plan.
Okay. And when you say it was a part of his plan, whose plan?
Brenda's.
Okay. So you left Valerie in the basement, and you said you went upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
When you got to the main level, did you or Brendan lock the door at the top of the basement stairs?
I do not recall doing that.
And what, if anything, did you do next?
When I got to the main floor, Brendan was standing at the bottom of the stairs that lead us upstairs. And he was just listening. Then he gestured to me like for me to wait, just listen to the sound. Slapping. That's when you're slapping somebody. That's the sound we could hear.
And what, if anything, happened after that?
I think we were listening to that sound for a few seconds, and he took his gun out, and because I also had the gun with me, I just did the same, and he proceeded to go upstairs, and I just followed him upstairs to the master bedroom.
So she didn't call 911 then?
Who opened the bedroom door?
Brendan.
Did you go inside the bedroom?
Yes.
And what did you see when you went inside the bedroom?
When we first get into the bedroom, I could see that the bed we have in the master bedroom was kind of tall. And so from my point of view, all I could see was like Joe. At the moment I knew it was Joe, like on top of Christine, in a way I'll only describe holding her down. And that was my first view as soon as I get into the bedroom.
Were you able to see Christine at all at that point?
At that point, no.
Did anyone say anything when the two of you went into the bedroom?
Yeah, when I got to the bedroom, Brendan said, he yelled, "Police officer." And Christine's first reaction, that was the first time I heard she say anything at that point. And she yelled back at Brendan, saying, "Brendan, he has a knife." And yeah, that's when Brenda first shot Joe.
Did you see Joe before he was shot?
Yeah.
What did he look like when he saw Brendan?
Shocked.
After Brendan shot Joe, did anyone say anything?
If anyone said anything?
Yeah, did anyone say anything in the room at that point?
Yeah, because Brendan ran to Christine. She was still on the floor, and I think that point she had seen me, and she said she had asked what you do to Brendan. I think regarding to that he shot Joe, and she said my name. She told me to be on the call 911.
And what did you do?
I called 911.
And what happened after you called 911?
At that point, Joe was already shot, so that's the sound in the background. And Brendan looks at me and just, in a way, for me, like to hang up the call.
Did he tell you? Did he say, Juliana, hang up the call?
No, he did not.
How did he communicate to you?
A gesture.
And what gesture did he make?
This.
And so what did you do after he made that gesture?
I hung up the phone, the phone call.
What, if anything, happened next?
Next, he was on top of Christine. Joe was laying there, and did that for me to grab a towel from the bathroom. We have the closet, and I just ran to the master bathroom and grabbed him a towel and.
And at this point in time, could you see Christine?
Yes.
What did you see Brendan do next?
When I was bringing him the towel, he got on top of her, and that's when I first saw him stab her with a knife.
Where on her body was he stabbing her?
Her neck.
And were you able to see whether or not he stabbed her one time or more than one time?
When I first saw that happening, I ran to the other side of the bed. And I was just crouching down on myself and covering my ears and covering my eyes. And a few times I looked, and I was able to see him stabbing her. And he would stab, and other times he would hold the knife in a position how that was.
You said he was holding the knife in a position?
Yeah.
How was he holding it?
This position, I think when the way holding it, putting pressure on it.
And was he just holding on to the knife at that point, or was he still stabbing her?
He was holding on to the knife.
Did you stab Christine at all?
I did not.
Did you touch Christine at all during this, at this point?
No.
Did you get any blood on you?
I did.
And how did you get blood on you?
The blood on my hands, I remember, because at some point when he was stabbing her, I was kneeling, like, she was here, and Brenna was like stabbing her, and I came closer, and it was right here, and I knelt on the carpet, and I had put my hands on the carpet, and as soon as I felt blood, I just removed my hands from the carpet.
Why? What did the blood feel like?
It was warm.
Wow.
Did you get blood on any other part of you?
Yeah. It was on my shoes, but also on my socks.
How did you get blood on your shoes?
I was walking around, I would say, freaking out, and I was pacing back and forth, and it was pacing and staying in place, covering my eyes and ears, and I didn't want to hear their conversation, and so I don't truly know like how I got blood on my socks.
When did you take off your shoes?
When Brennan had told me 21, 28, he was telling me basically to go to the master, to the closet, to the safe, and he was telling me 21, 28, and it took me a while to know what he was talking about, and I was like,
He was using code words.
21, 28, what? And we said safe, and before I started going to the closet, he told me take off your shoes, and I took off my shoes, and I proceeded going to the safe. I got my tiptoes, like, with my socks on.
Why was it that you went to the safe?
Huh?
Why did you go to the safe?
Because it was also part of his plan, and for reasons I can't make sense of them now, given that I had the gun with me that morning. Yeah.
But he wanted you to go to the safe?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you a series of photographs at this point. And they are going to be Commonwealth 74, 75, 76, 77, and 78. And if I could have them displayed to the witness and counsel only, please.
Okay.
I'm going to scroll through these photos, and I'm going to ask you some questions about them. So this is Commonwealth 74, 75, 76, 77, and 78. Do you recognize these photos?
Yes.
And how do you recognize them?
these photos were taken at the police headquarters on the date that happened. And the last picture, it's a picture of my shoes and my socks.
And the photos that show us 74, 75, 76, and 77, are those a true and accurate depiction of the clothing that you were wearing that day?
Yes.
And is 78 a true and accurate depiction of the shoes and socks that you were wearing that day?
Yeah.
Judge, at this point in time, I would ask for the court to publish these to the jury.
Push them in evidence.
I'm sorry, I admit them into evidence and then publish them to the jury.
No objection from the defense. 75, 76, 77, and 78 in evidence. You can publish.
And I'm just going to click through them so that they can publish.
She clicks through very quickly. She's a fast clicker. This could have been to help make it look like Joe was robbing the place and forced
we can terminate that view, please.
The wife to open the safe. Could have been to set up the au pair to make it look like she had got the gun and she had done the shooting. It was
What
all
did you
her.
do next?
I'm sorry.
What did you do next? After 21, 28, you went to the safe, came back. What did you do at that point?
At that point, that's when, in front of the dresser and the TV, and I'm telling Brendan that Joe is moving. He was moving, and Brendan, he doesn't have any reaction to that whatsoever. And I just start telling him he's moving, he's behind you, and that's when I fired the shot too.
She fired of her own
That's
volition.
when you, could you say that again?
I fired.
And when you say you fired what?
A gun.
The gun that was where?
In my, that I had in my pocket, the handgun.
Did you hit anyone?
Yes.
Who'd you hit?
Joe.
Wow, she did it without being instructed.
What happened after you shot Joe?
After I shot him, he falls back.
Did you see Brendan touch Joe's body after you shot him?
Touching, no.
Did you see him interacting with Joe or Christine after you shot Joe?
Well, he was still stabbing Christine, and he got her blood in a handful of blood, and he starts dripping on Joe's body.
Did you ever call 911 again?
Yes.
Why did you call 911 again?
I called 911 again when he told me Brendan told me he was ready for me to call.
And when you made that call, do you recall what you said?
I think I do not remember everything he said. I remember saying that I guess a friend of mine was being stabbed and somebody was shot, and I couldn't talk the rest of the call, so Brendan took the lead, and he was the one talking to the responder on the phone call.
Did the police arrive that day after you called 911?
They did.
What did you do when the police arrived?
The person on the phone, the 911, she told me to not hang up on the phone and go make sure the front door is open. And so I went downstairs to make sure the door was open. And that's when they were already like at the door at that point.
And that day, on the day that the murders took place, did you speak to the police that day?
Yes. I think the first time I spoke to the police was in the driveway, and they took Valerie and I to the police headquarters.
Did you talk to the police when you got to headquarters?
Yes.
And did you tell the detectives that you spoke with that day about the things that you testified to here today?
Though what I told the detectives that day, it was the version Brendan had told me. If I was ever to talk to a lawyer, or this is ever going to happen, like this is what happened. The version I told the detectives that day, and that I eventually also told his lawyer the same version.
Ms. Bristler, is this a good break point for the day?
It's 5 o'clock.
Yes, possibly? Yes. All right, you want to check with?
Judge, if I could have 1 moment.
Yes.
This is how the jury's going to go home thinking about this today.
Yes, Judge, this is a fine place to stop.
All right, just stay right there, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, since it's 5 o'clock, we're going to go ahead and release you for the day. Just a reminder tonight, don't look at any news, don't look at any social media, do not talk to anybody about this case, and please do not do any outside research, okay? And Deputy Johnson will take you back, and just make sure you get here tomorrow at the correct time so we can start right on time tomorrow at 10 a.m., okay? Perfect, thank you.
That is, I'm not sure if it's her demeanor, Ruth Ann. The way she recounts this is haltingly, but also just matter of fact. Only a couple breaks where emotion took over. We learned a couple things. We learned that her shot, where she shot Joe in the chest, that was of her own volition. I'm not sure if she was trying to protect Brandon, but...
All right, ma'am, just as a reminder, since you're still testifying, it's important that you do not talk to anybody about this case or your testimony. That includes the prosecutors or the defense attorney, okay? You are allowed to talk to your attorney, Mr. Campbell, who for the record is present in the courtroom today, okay? All right, so you're excused until tomorrow morning. All right.
So we're starting tomorrow morning with a bang. This is the judge from Deputy Heard. See if we can see any exchange between her and the defendant as she leaves here. Doesn't follow her, but looks after her after she leaves.
All right, anything further for this evening?
Yes, Judge, I'd like to.
You want to approach? Sure.
Brief sidebar here. I think on cross-examination, which I don't think we're starting straight with cross. I don't think the defense is done with her, right? We still need a little bit more of the story to come out. Well, we might be done. Hang on. Let's see. I think we need a little bit more of the story to come out through her. So before defense takes over on cross-examination, but they've got to. You saw the opening from defense. All they talked about was the au pair. That's all she's. That's the entire focus of their case. They have to attack this testimony. this is going to be interesting. It might be brutal. It might be just like this is their one shot. If the jury believes this witness, it's game over for Brendan. So how they're going to discredit her, how they're going to, I don't know what they're going to do, but, they can't just say no questions, or that's waving the white flag on the entire case. So, whoa. They're definitely going to talk about the deal. That's definitely going to be part of it. Maybe that's going to be all of it. Maybe they can just be, it's a great story you've told, but look at the deal you're getting. They're gonna say she committed murders, one, maybe two murders. I don't know how they're gonna say that, but you're walking while he, takes the full brunt of the charge. I feel sick to my stomach listening to some of this testimony. There we go. Judge is off the bench for the day. So with that, we go back to the seal. We're going to end for the day. It's repulsive, is what it is. It's repulsive to think that this was a plan. This was a husband and wife, okay, with a child together, and the husband thought this up. And it's not just. Murder's bad, right? Murder's bad. I don't condone it. Period. But it's not just. I just can't take it anymore. I'm going to get rid of this person. It's the planning that went into this, the months of planning, looking for the right person, the ability for him to, both of them, I guess, to involve another person, not just to bring them in unwittingly into this situation, but to bring them in and make them expendable and kill them to further their story. The betrayal in here is unbelievable. Murder is bad. This is so weirdly intricate. I told you this is a complicated story. Not like Murdaugh Finance is complicated, but it is a complicated story that is now getting spelled out for the jury to hear. Good to hear RA say murder's bad. Yes, thank you. Let me just be on the record in case I'm not clear. Don't kill each other. There you go. That's what I've got for you. Don't kill each other. Is she in custody? She is. She's in custody. And the idea is, what we're hearing is the deal she has with the state, because she has not yet been prosecuted. She's a co-defendant. She's charged with the same things. But the deal is she testifies. If she sticks to her story and answers all their questions and cooperates, she gets time served, which means when she's done, we're going to release you, and she gets deported to Brazil. That's it. That's a huge incentive, especially knowing that she decided to shoot Joe when he was still alive. She pled not sentenced. She pled guilty. Man, it's a crazy deal. But honestly, there were parts of this. It took a while for this to come to trial, right? This happened, February 24th, 2023. So it's 3 years later. It's not too long, but it did take some time for this to figure out. It took over a year for him to be arrested. What were the dates they gave us earlier? October of 2023, and then held for a year while he was on the outside before she flips. So absolutely wild. Well, we have had Alicia Dale, the 911 records keeper. We had Justin Hugh, the Fairfax County police officer. We've got Zachary Beckner, who was a police officer. Also, body cams came in on those. Lieutenant Michael Gibbons, also more body cam. Dr. Megan Kessler, who was the medical examiner. And we've got the co-defendant, all on day one of... I'm sorry, I just saw this comment. All on day one of what is blowing up into a crazy, crazy trial. And it could go 4 to 5 weeks as well. Just amazing. Guys, I apologize for the buffering. Obviously, there's not much I can do on my end. There is one step I'm going to take tomorrow, which for you the only difference you should see is no buffering. But for me, all it does is the time between when I say something and you hear it goes from about 3 seconds to about 10 seconds.
So I'll put the buffer on my end. That gives YouTube a little more time to handle the video that we're sending it and compress it. I don't know, maybe just a lot of people are uploading right now. Either way, that should fix the buffering issue for tomorrow. The 5-second pause is enough. I'll fix it on my end tomorrow, so none of you will have to do the 5-second pause. For you, it will look like it's live, even though the delay is still there. It will make it a little bit harder for me to follow chat because I'll be answering a question, 15 seconds after it's posted instead of 5 seconds after it's posted, assuming I read it. But all good stuff. Thank you, everyone. I have to thank the mods today. They did an amazing job. It's a lot of work. I do apologize. I wish we could. I wish everyone briefly had the experience that a mod gets to understand what they go through and why we do what we do, because it doesn't make sense to everybody. Please know that the mods make decisions which I have told them to make, and they do it on a spur of a moment, and they have to read hundreds, if not thousands, of chats throughout the day, as we have several thousand people here in chat. And it's a ton of work. They make a decision. All I ask is that if your comment got deleted, remember what it was and be like, well, maybe I shouldn't do that. That's it. Please don't question, why was my stuff deleted? All that does is take more time from the mods and from me from focusing on the channel. Just know that we love you. Just change a little bit, maybe steer the conversation back to something away from the topic that got deleted, and you're going to be good. So thank you very much. We've got a couple new people here as well. If you haven't joined now, please click the subscribe button. Become a subscriber to the channel. Come back and join us as we follow this trial gavel to gavel day in, day out. Kimby's Dirty Kitchen. Welcome to the gallery. Look at that orange courthouse. Love it. Looks great. Thank you all. So, I thought it was a fast reader, but dang, the deleted comment. Sorry, the mods are fast. They're fast. Oh, just be nice. Here's the rule. Don't say anything illegal, and that could mean something slanderous or libelous that could get the channel in trouble. It could be encouraging illegal activity. Let's not do that in chat. Don't be mean to somebody. Treat other people the way you want to be treated, or the way you would like your mom or your grandma or your kids to be treated, something like that, whichever one's the best. And just be polite, and we'll all be friends. So, all right, we will be back. Vern, thanks for the kind words. Thanks all of you for the kind words. Ohio has a verdict. That's awesome. We'll have to hear from somebody who watched it, because we can't go back, unfortunately, and I'm not collecting that one. Can we watch Ohio tomorrow morning for the verdict in the morning? I don't have Ohio. I don't have Warren County. If we didn't grab it right when it happened, it's gone. And I did not grab it. So somebody will have to tell us how it went out. It's hard not to repeat mistakes if you don't know the mistakes you make in the defense of chat reoffenders. I understand. That's why if your comments keep getting deleted, we just need to do some soul searching and introspection. Don't kill each other, says Redford. Red, it's great to have you back in green. I love it. Yeah, just be nice. Just be nice. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better. Please stay safe till we go live again tomorrow morning, about the same time. I think we're going to be 9:45 at the latest, probably 9:15. Probably 9:15. So, you guys have a good night. Be good to each other. We'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.
Because he's the guy. You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
Red Pen, thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. You have a red courthouse. 3 years. Congratulations. Appreciate you, Red Pen.
There's nothing in the order that restrains you from talking to cats.
Thank you.